The apocalypse is coming. Are you scared? Are you prepared? The masses are running, frantically running from their fears, running with their tears, running from their lives, running from that dark shadowed creature that hides deep inside.
Hello, hello, hello. This is Ray Felix on this Sunday morning. Happy Father's Day. And busy answering texts. Happy Father's Day, happy Father's Day. Back and forth. It's like just on the phone, just to give you the visual, like for the last few hours. Thank you, everyone who wished me a happy Father's Day. I appreciate that. Where do we start? Real life often gets in the way of fun stuff like this. So it's been a busy school year. And I got to just say it's a little crazy working for a school where they hire a bunch of teachers in September and they're trying to fire them all in June. God. So I've been writing a lot of rebuttals, reports, things like that. Fun stuff. So Supergirl is opening up next week, and I want to give this a little review. I never read the graphic novel, but I read this free Supergirl Day comic book that came out a few weeks back. I think it was in May. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Now you've heard that I'm not crazy about Tom King. I think he ruined Batman, but this story is actually good. Now, what's sad is that I'm afraid that the movie is going to ruin this comic because they threw in Lobo, which is not in this story. They have this other fella in here. And then you have, this takes place on a planet that's like middle age, like sword and sorcerer type of thing. And the movie is like a Mad Max kind of post-apocalyptic film, which is the complete opposite. So good one for Tom King writing Supergirl. That was pretty good. Another one I was reading, an old one I got out of a dollar box, was Future State Swamp Thing. This came out like maybe a few years ago. This is Wonder Woman 84 on it, which was a terrible picture, but it was fun. I enjoyed it, but it was terrible. And this is a post-apocalyptic story about the future where mankind, the remnants of mankind are fighting these plant-like people that Swamp Thing created, and then Swamp Thing actually ends up, I won't spoil it, but who cares? Swamp Thing ends up killing the swamp creatures that he created so that humanity can have a second chance. It's kind of like Planet of the Apes 4, the original one, where the humans were fighting the apes in this post-apocalyptic future. I think the cover was very attractive. Like, this was really cool. I thought that was a nice cover. This was a cool cover. I only paid $1. It was in the dollar box. So from the dollar box section, that's what I got. And then since it's Father's Day, really want to talk about the King, Jack King Kirby. This book came out a few years ago, but he had some good stories pertaining to war. I mean, you had the superpowers. They took this concept of Russia and the United States, being superpowers, and they had this story called Superpowers, which also included a toy line. Back in the 80s, that was now known as Iconic. Now, what's interesting is that, Jack Kirby's the artist, but there's another guy that was actually finishing the stories. He didn't do the full stories. Who was it? But these stories are Jack Kirby's. But there's another artist that was part of this series that wasn't Jack Kirby. There were several superpowers. Oh, Joey Cavallari is a scriptwriter, and Adrian Gonzalez. So it looked like Kirby was doing layouts on these, and then this guy Adrian finished it. Because when we go into the Kirby hack period, right? We see the hacking stuff. It's not his best work, but it's a cool book because you got a complete collections of all his short stories. Like you got the Dingbats, which I think was a one shot. I'm not sure. The Dingbats. It says DC #1 issue special #6, and then you got Cobra, right? Which is very similar to his invention of Shield and Hydra, right? It's like a martial arts thing. Then, of course, you had Atlas, which everybody and their mother copied this cover, including John Byrne. Here, Atlas. John Burns ripped that off. So Kirby was very cool at doing these books. And then you have the War comics, which were The Losers, which was actually a movie, but did not give Kirby credit. The Losers. He worked on that World War II stories. They did a Vertigo version in the early 2000s. I mean, the art is amazing. The Kirby stuff is far superior to anything that Vertigo put out. I'm just saying. Great stories. This is a great book if you're gonna afford it. It's expensive as hell. I got it on Amazon for a little cheaper, but it's heavy. It's really hard to read. I feel like it's heavier than a dictionary. But you got this nice slip cover. When you pull this slip cover off, or they call it dust jacket, you can see the back cover. It's kind of cool. You got the Demon Erect again in there, and you got these villains. So you got all these. This book is like freaking, like feels like 25 to 30 pounds. Getting a workout here. But yeah, it's kind of cool. It's kind of neat. And then he has like a little historical section for war, since it's war in comics. The helmets, the hard hats of war helmets, and different helmets from different eras. And I love Jack Kirby, man. All his war comics. I mean, look at this stuff. It's just goodbye Broadway, hello death. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. But apparently the Losers, they have issues 155 here. The DC loved doing Nazi stories. Another thing, like behind each issue, you had this whole thing. He has this whole thing on tanks. All right, kind of like Punisher War Journal in the 90s, He has the ranks, what the ranks mean, the soldier uniforms, all that cool stuff. A lot of people sleep on the Losers. They always think of Nick Fury. But this was DC. Nick Fury was Marvel. But I mean, he had all sorts. Not only did you have great art, but he just had so much information about things that were being used. Artillery cannons, right? He did history. Basically, it's like a history lesson in a book. So Kirby was far more than superheroes, even though he did love drawing superheroes, right? I mean, there's just so much information here. Submachine guns of World War II. How cool is that? It's like, hold on a second. Just got a little message. Let's see. Yeah, so I mean, Kirby just did a lot of cool stuff. He just did. Yeah, I mean, he just had so many. Wish his book was. Then he has Omac in here, which was almost like a future soldier, right? And Omac was kind of cool too. These are all different individual books during his tenure at DC. I mean, he has so many stories. Omac was kind of like he looked like a heavy metal guy. The guy had a mohawk, he had an eyeball in his chest, right? Yeah. The one-man army corps. People say corpse. It's corps, pronounced corps, right? So, I mean, so many great things about Kirby. I mean, it just goes on. Omac looks like it was, 6 or 7 issues? How far did this series go? And there was a lot of characters like that. Chapter 3. Oh, there's 8 issues. Let's see. So you got a lot of different stuff here. Again, this is the first issue of Omac. This is bizarre. This lady in a box. It's very. I guess she's like an AI, in a box. Lila. Omac's one-man army corps. It's a story of a young man, in the world that's coming, in a strange place that common objects of today may become the terrors that we never bargained for, like the one below. Hello, put me together and I will be your friend. Build a friend. So apparently it's like, you have all this crazy stuff, and you have that whole dynamic Kirby stuff going on, and then my favorite, I'm actually showing you the book in reverse. Sorry. Yeah, the Golden Age Sandman was rebooted here. You have Kirby's Sandman. Kirby created the Sandman. A lot of people are like, oh, Neil Gaiman Sandman. It was Jack Kirby that created Sandman in the 1940s. Then he rebooted it in the 70s. And then you had Neil Gaiman basically play in Kirby's sandbox and create all these other cool characters. And I was a big fan of Sandman, but people tend to forget that the original Sandman was Jack Kirby. I don't know if he created Hippolyta, but Brute and Glob and a lot of those characters that were in the Sandman were all Kirby characters that are in Netflix, and they only credit him with the Sandman character in the Netflix show. They don't credit him with Brute or Glob or anything because people don't do their research. It's a little annoying. I mean, that they do that, but I mean, look at that. And these books, they say that, these books were not successful when they first were published, and that's not true. Because back then they got their ratings late, so they didn't know what their sales were until the very end. So you got the Demon Erect again in here, and then another thing called In the Days of the Mob. You got this, which is from a magazine. The Roaring 30s Come Alive. I mean, look at this. This is like really amazing stuff. So this is about this warden who lives in hell, and he's visiting all these old gangsters that are long dead in hell, and they reside in a infernal prison, and they tell the stories of Ma and Ma's boys. So it's almost like a Twilight Zone type of comic, So he's got the gangster 1930 stories, and they're pretty bleak, These are not superhero stories here. But I mean, The guy was really a genius, and this guy is a narrator. Look, he's got Al Capone. So he's the narrator's having a be quiet, Siri. The narrator's having he kind of opens the story kind of like Gene Roddenberry and introduces you to a comic book, but then it's all like infernal gangster stuff. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, I recommend this book for anybody, especially like it's got it all. It's got the demon Erectican, who's not really a superhero, but it's kind of like an anti-hero. And then you got Omac, who's like a soldier. Then you got the losers, and then you got this mafia stuff in the beginning. Actually opens up with that. He's got a lot of World War II stuff in here. Image of Hitler, and then all the people there. Murder Inc. Murder Inc. was actually, from what I believe, was the Jewish mafia that worked in concert with the Italian mafia. Like they were the assassins. They were like some of the toughest assassins out there in the 30s. Really interesting if you ever read about Murder Inc. So he's got all the stories here. Beautiful work. So it's funny how it goes from sepia to black and white, and then you got color. And it's unusual for a Marvel book. I mean, sorry, not Marvel, DC omnibus to start with black and white, and then they slowly move. I think he's got a little fumetti here. He's got like a little fumetti with the painted cover. And they got the duotone. So really good. I mean, I could talk about this book all day. I mean, he's got. Let me look at that. That's pretty cool stuff. I mean, this is such a great book. I think it took me about a month to read just to get through it all. And by the time you get through all this stuff, I mean, look at that. You have this classic collages. This guy was a fine artist. People sleep on Jack Kirby. I mean, pop art. They talk about Will Eisner and stuff, but Jack Kirby was the pop artist. He was. I mean, then you go from that to the demon Erectigan. So you got the demon here. So I mean, you got all the issues of the demon in there. I mean, that's the book. The omnibus. So that's my comic book referral for the week for War Comics. Now here's Miguel, live from France. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Just living in hell's breath.
Yeah, me too, man. Sorry, I got caught up writing these rebuttals all day. I've been up since 6 o'clock in the morning.
Rebuttals to what?
To my job. I got grievances from people, and then I have to write my own grievance as well. It's like they want to rate me. They want to give me a poor rating because I've been defending teachers, but that's my job. I just realized I had 2 cups of drinks. That's how. I had 2 cups.
Have you suggested having a holiday called Festivus?
Right, for the rest of us, yeah.
Yeah, the airing out of grievances.
Oh my God, yeah, it's so crazy. What's going on in France? What's the news there?
Heat wave, more of a heat wave.
Really? What's the temperature?
Like I think 103 tomorrow.
Holy crap! Really? I didn't know.
Yeah.
I know it got that hot. I mean,
no, it's not supposed to be getting that hot. It doesn't get that hot till at least July, late July, August.
Right. Yeah,
and that's usually like extreme, but it's hitting us now in June.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
I always think of like when Europe, you think cold and gray. I never got,
No, that would be the north.
Right. Right.
That's the north. The south, this is definitely southern weather.
Yeah.
This is the shit you'd put up with in Madrid. Madrid gets like unbearably hot. And the worst part is that it's like right dab in the center.
Right.
So it's not like if you're in Barcelona, you're by the water. You
Right.
got beaches. You're cooked.
Mm-hmm.
You're so screwed. But yeah, this is not like Northern Europe type weather, which is where I'm basically living.
Right. Right. Yeah.
But
That's wild. So it must be even hotter in the southern area, huh?
yeah, like you look at the map, it's freaking nuts.
No.
But hey, some oil executives need to make some fucking money, man.
All right.
Then they'll go into their air-conditioned bunkers
Right.
and tell us to fuck off, right? So
Right. Exactly. It's funny you talk about 007 being a guy named John D. Is that the same John D that was into like with was friends with Aleister Crowley?
no, he's older. He's from like the Elizabethan period. He
Uh,
was Elizabeth the First's alchemist. He was a
so he was an alchemist.
metaphysical guy and a spy.
Right. So actually, yes. So I got that wrong. So it's Aleister Crowley, I guess, was studying John Dee's works.
Yeah, John Dee came up with. He said he had decoded angel language or some crazy shit.
Yeah.
But his moniker was 007.
That's interesting.
So if they wanted to do something really cool with the franchise,
Yeah, they could go back to history.
they could do a whole Assassin's Creed style thing.
Yeah.
Of course, they're going to piss off the Spanish because their enemy at the time was the Spaniards, but
Right. Yeah.
it is what it is.
What do you think about what's going on in this crazy world? It's like
What do I think?
yeah, like with this whole signing of agreement and then Israel breaking it. It's like it's so crazy.
Thinking a lot because I've been reading the book The Devil's Chessboard.
Yeah. I almost bought it actually the other day. I saw it in Barnes and Nobles.
I'm 200 pages into that 600-page beast.
Mm-hmm.
I just started reading it, and it's just like each page I turn, I'm like, God, these guys are fuckers.
Yeah.
Man, they're bastards. Holy crap, they're bastards. Like we all know that the industrialists in our country traded and funded the Nazis. Like I hope we all know that, right?
Most people don't, but yeah, that's true. I do. I mean, that's where NASA comes from too, right?
Well, one of the big point men was Alan Dulles.
Yeah.
He was the lawyer for Sullivan and Cromwell.
Mm-hmm.
And his brother Foster, who worked there too,
Mm-hmm.
managed to hide a lot of the transactions and money that was going to the Nazis. So it wasn't just Prescott Bush and them.
Right.
FDR, I posted about this. FDR pointed Dulles to Switzerland to be the main contact for the OSS, which was the precursor to the CIA, because he wanted to keep an eye on him to see who he was talking to, because he knew that the Dulles brothers were up to no good. And what they wanted to do after the war was prosecute all these people who had actually worked with the Nazis. But the problem is FDR died. And when he dies, they start going after all the New Deal Democrats. And they start smearing them as communists and all sorts of stuff. So in a way, the villains that they're about to trap actually reverse the trap and trap them. And Dulles is responsible for Operation Sunrise, which is what scrubbed the records of thousands of Nazis. And it led to only basically 11 people being put on the death penalty.
Right.
Yep. And what wasn't that many? We all think, oh, the Nuremberg trials.
There was a Nazi found during COVID, during the lockdown. I think it was even before the lockdown. They discovered he was living in Queens.
Yeah, there was another one in Canada. You remember during the Ukraine?
Yes.
Or the Parliament gave this guy like a big standing ovation.
Yes.
And it turned out he was an SS officer.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy was Jakiv Palage, a former guard of the Tarekwiecki Nazi labor camp, lived in a red brick house in Jackson Heights, Queens, for decades. Following the years of protests and diplomatic negotiations, federal agents deported him to Germany in 2018, and he died in Germany from retirement in 2019. So right before the pandemic, at the age of 95. So they were trying to basically get him, you know, and actually his citizenship was revoked in 2003 for immigration fraud, and they ordered him to be deported in 2004, but then nobody actually went after him. He stayed in.
Of course not. He's a fucking Nazi.
Yeah. Oh, and then Germany, Poland, and Ukraine refused to accept him initially. So
oh yeah, like
he killed over 3,000 people. He was just hanging out, you know.
Dude, I'm sure he probably has like a special CIA award.
Right.
Because what I found out reading this book, The Devil's Chessboard,
right.
Anyone who reads it probably knows, but $2 million of the money that the Nazis had stolen from Jewish families and nations they occupied,
right,
Dulles confiscated and used it for black ops.
Wow.
So it's like
that's so evil.
Yeah, I mean, this dude is like one of the most evil people I think I've ever read.
This is the book we're talking about. Yeah.
I think the cover has Kennedy and Dulles.
Yeah.
On the front.
There's a lot of different versions. I saw this version at Barnes and Nobles. There's one with, and then they had Legacy and Ashes.
Yeah, I don't see anything. There's nothing on the screen. But
nothing on the screen? Oh my goodness.
Nothing on the screen.
What the hell?
But you just see, and then there's another guy, Nixon, man. Found out about Nixon. Tricky Dick.
Oh yeah, he's too much, man.
Oh man.
There we go.
Oh yeah, that's the classic cover. Yeah, that's the classic cover.
Classic. Yeah, that's the classic. Whoops, what's going on? There we go.
Yeah, that book, man. I'm only 200 pages in. I'm already thinking that all these guys should have been hung for treason.
For real.
But they fucking got away with it, man. And not only did they get away with it, but they forged the world that we live in today. Like Trump is a Dulles creature.
Right.
He might not be a direct descendant of Dulles per se, but Roy Cohn was part of the Un-American Committees Act committee, and he was Trump's mentor. Like when people keep telling me, "Oh, Russia this, Russia that, blah blah blah, Russian mob,"
right?
CIA was notorious for using the mob for their own ends. They're the ones who brought back the mob in southern Italy after Mussolini had destroyed them, which very few things that I would agree with Mussolini, but I thought that was a really good move. Actually, there's nothing I would agree with Mussolini, but except for that. So using the Russian mob would not have been unusual. I think that we sort of think that the Soviet Union, when it collapsed, it still had this sort of weird Goku power that even though it shouted out, like, we will still defeat you. We will give you Trump. It's like, no, we went there. You know, I know that people get mad at Putin. And I understand why. But I think, again, I think I said this in previous episodes. You had to put it in the context of the time he rose. Russia was like fucking crazy.
Right.
You talk about child prostitution. You went from a place that everyone owned their homes to all of a sudden they didn't own anything. Yeah, people have to give up their kids for prostitution. Russia was fucking down and out.
Right.
And we're thinking that they had some sort of like Machiavellian, like, it's a kind of, I don't know. To me, when I hear that, it's the kind of crazy shit that I hear about black people. Like we got supernatural powers, right? Well, it's like, no.
Even I remember in the 90s that Russia was doing so bad that they were saying that the currencies after the fall, they had multiple currencies. They didn't know what was the real currency. And the age expectation was dropping to like 45 because of the crazy that was going on.
Yeah, it was crazy. So I remember that era pretty good. Later on, there was what's the name of he was a professor. He passed away. He was married to Katrina Van den Heuvel, I think her name is, from The Nation. He was a Russia professor, and he was like an expert. He passed away. I think his name might have been Michael Cohen.
Oh, Michael Cohen.
I could be wrong, but
not the Trump lawyer, Michael Cohen.
No, not Roy Cohen. Not Roy Cohen.
No, the other one that sold him out in 2016. that was
Yeah, no.
that was Michael Cohen as well.
Michael Cohen, I think
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
he was great. He said, you have to understand, Putin was on the other line when Boris Yeltsin was begging the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
and saying to the U.S., Russia's not Haiti.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, if you've got a guy who's a nationalist listening to his boss
Right.
basically begging,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Supervillains have been created for less.
I found a clip on that Nazi living in Jersey. Let me see. Can you see the screen? Let's see. All right. Let's see if I can play this without a.
Oh, yeah.
Reporting a notorious Nazi soldier hiding out in the U.S. for years. He is now on his way back to Germany. The 95-year-old was an armed guard at Nazi death camps who participated in the murder of countless prisoners. But after the war, he lied about his identity and spent his remaining years living in Queens. Eyewitness News reporter Dennis McGowan has the very latest from Jackson Heights.
There he goes.
Many were surprised how long it took this accused Nazi collaborator to be deported, while all that time he was living right here in this Jackson Heights house.
Sir, are you a Nazi?
95-year-old Jacques Pauly didn't answer questions as he was carried away from his home in a wheelchair before he was put on a stretcher and taken away, deported to Germany.
Why did they
Is this real? Is this happening?
The moment surreal for Brooklyn Assemblyman Dov Heikind, who represents a community of survivors.
My mother was at Auschwitz. My grandparents were murdered, went straight to the gas chambers. And here is Pali living here freely in Jackson Heights.
Heikind saying along with protesters, he fought for years for Pauly to be deported. Pauly came to the U.S. in 1949, becoming a citizen less than a decade later, concealing his Nazi service. He's accused of working as a guard at a Nazi death camp. The White House saying he admitted in 2001 that he trained in a Nazi SS training camp in Poland. And although Pauly was deported in 2004, Germany wouldn't take him, saying the Polish-born Pauly wasn't a citizen. He's been living in Jackson Heights since.
It's shameful in this day and age.
He has to be reported and sent to the hell.
Sent to hell. I would say what Trump had.
Trump administration making Pauly's deportation a top priority for the new ambassador to Germany. Heiken applauding this move.
It wasn't even about,
We got the point.
Dude, I'm not.
But did they throw him on the ground and take his shirt off and cuff him? No.
Oh, man.
It's like,
He's a Nazi. We don't do that shit to Nazis.
They didn't put handcuffs on. They just put him in a gurney and strapped him to a gurney. Like, what the hell?
Speaking of which, I have a hilarious story. By the way, happy Father's Day to
Yeah, happy Father's Day.
all you mofos out there.
Yeah. Or your fathers, whether you're with your kids or not.
Yeah.
You're a weekend daddy or a full-time daddy or, seasonal, stepdaddy. Oh, happy Father's Day to all of you.
Yep. So, I have this story. I remember my mom and I must have been about 14 or 15, and we're looking for an apartment, like a place to rent.
Well,
We're in Canada, small town, and we go to a listing.
mhm.
We get there. This guy opens. It's this short, bald, white dude with glasses.
Mhm.
And as soon as he opens up his mouth, he's German. So we're like walking around. He's showing us the apartment. Kind of jovial kind of guy. And he turns to my mom and goes, "Oh, you're Spanish?" I'm like, yeah. He's like, "Oh, did you live through the Civil War?" She's like, "Yeah."
Right.
"Yeah, I lived through World War II. I'll never forget that wonderful sight of all the dead bodies and the
What?
bits and pieces and the smell of death."
Wow.
And my mother looks at me and she says, "You know what, honey, we got to go."
You gotta go.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So those people are out there, dude.
Well, I feel that when it comes to groups, and indoctrination, whether it's religious, political, or otherwise, this groupthink, it just like people just act like lemmings, or like ants. So look at the Knicks parade that happened.
Yeah.
In the videos from that, the woman grabbing the other chicken, throwing her on the street.
Yeah. It's like
It's
I
like
enjoy the whole World Cup stuff and
right.
thing, and gives you a lot of ribbing and stuff. But I hate the fan culture
Yeah.
associated with sports.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
People get stupid.
Oh my god. But I think initially that's what humans are. It's like the few and the proud are intelligent. It's the majority.
Nah, I think that
It's like-
I basically think that what happens is we're just caught in such a routine of bleh
yeah.
that when we finally get something that we feel is like exciting and great, we react in a very we just let loose because we're not allowed to let loose in any other given way.
Right.
And I'll give you an example. Like each culture kind of handles it differently.
Right.
I mean, they did some. I mean, what they did on Champs-Élysées, they burnt down businesses after the stupid Paris Club one. There's still like places that are just burnt out.
Yeah.
But an example of that, sort of like stupidity. I mean, we don't do that for Jeffrey Epstein. I wish we would. But I think that every day we're dealing with a routine. Get up, go to work, do this, do that. Get up, go to work, do this, do that. And as soon as we get a little bit of freedom, we're like, screw it. I'm
Right.
just cutting loose. And, each culture handles it differently. Spanish culture, it happens. I'm not going to say it doesn't happen because stupid stuff happens there too, a lot.
Right.
But overall, kind of let it off our chests. It was just like, yeah, screw you. It's very verbal. You don't hold it in for very long. My mother
Right.
used to say that the English culture, and I think she's right, holds it all in like a fucking pressure cooker. And she used to say to me, that's why they'll blow up and start taking out like post office, schools, and all sorts of stuff. Because we're not really dealing and processing our human emotions enough, because we are emotional creatures. I don't give a shit what anyone says. Yes, we're rational, but overall, our rational is about this much, our emotional is this much.
Right.
When you suppress this much to give favor to this much, eventually this one's going to say, you know what? You're going to let me out at some point. You're going to let me out. And boom, it
Yeah.
explodes. So I don't think it's necessarily a matter of
Also, like some sort of like instant schizophrenia in the brain or something that.
it's repression. When
Yeah.
you repress like that, I mean, what do? You feel the need when you have a moment of what you think is freedom,
Right.
or I would say think. What you feel is freedom. It's very
Right.
different from thinking.
Right.
And then you go off and you do stupid shit. Big difference.
Adults acting like teenagers.
Yeah. But I think that we're not taught to express ourselves. That's why art isn't seen so highly
Right.
as, say, the sciences.
Yep.
Because the sciences, this is nothing wrong with that. I get it. They help us interpret our world. But on the other hand, from my more science-oriented people who are not into the hard sciences, who lean towards scientism, science is not there to discover the truth. It's to give you evidence of the truth. A very big difference.
Right.
Someone's like, yes, it's rational.
Hypothesis, right? And then
Yeah.
that hypothesis, and then if it's proven wrong, you find another one.
Yeah, but even if you do find it right, something else could come along, knock it out of the way, and I'm like, yeah, it was kind of right, but we just moved the camera over this way, and from this angle, it sucks.
Just
Sorry
like
to- but-
Nikola Tesla in 1957 was saying that we can never go on the moon because the moon is plasma. The planets that we see in space are plasma. They're not rock, like we used to believe.
Right.
So That makes a lot of sense. But then, of course, they're like, no, we're going to the moon 10 years later.
Well, then you test it, because I mean, this is the
Yeah.
whole point. You test it
Right.
to see if it's true or not, because he could be wrong. I mean, he's Tesla, but
Mhm.
even Einstein got shit wrong, and that's the thing. There isn't a set truth, and I think that's the part where I see a lot of people fall into scientism, which is treating science as religion, as opposed to
It's a religion.
it's just like, hey, yeah, all right, this didn't fucking work. That's why engineers scoff at scientists many times, because they're like, we're going to do this, that. And it's like, you can't do that. Why? Because you actually need to put duct tape on that. It's going to fuck the whole thing up. Because you're taking all that knowledge and then you're applying it. When
Right.
you apply it, then you know if it works or it doesn't work.
Right. There's a math. There's a
And
math.
even the math, I mean, math is great. You can sit there, it looks beautiful.
You know, like
Get
Elon,
it into the real world, you're
Yeah.
fucked.
it's
I'm
like
serious.
it's like Elon Musk and Bezos. They have all these rockets, and then they had this Katy Perry thing, which was totally fake. Just totally fake. It was like a Hollywood production. Yeah, it's just shocking that they're getting billions of dollars. Oh, they're the smartest guys. They're one of the richest, but they're not the smartest. And then they just keep blowing up these rockets. Like, hey man, we've been making rockets. Imagine if you designed a car, and the car just kept blowing up spontaneously. I don't think you're good at this. Maybe get somebody else.
I mean, and it's not like it's not like back in the day, like say something like the Wright brothers. They're trying to figure out how to do it. I
Right.
mean, we've had over a century of people, or at least a century worth of how to build a fucking rocket to get to space, right? The
Right.
Russians were the ones who were sending us up there.
Right.
And I think a lot of people forgot how Fish Face ended up getting SpaceX to be the government's rocket boy,
Mhm.
and it was because of the Ukraine war. We cut off ties with them. We
Right.
said we're not going to take your rockets anymore. And quite frankly, I mean, he can get his satellites up there, but they keep falling. I mean, the Russians even said, you know what? You can use your brooms and fly your satellites up. Like that's like they literally laugh at us. And however you feel about the Russians, one way or the other, I know it's a very triggering thing about Russia. There's a lot of Russia phobia, and I understand people can view Putin as a dictator. As I said previously, he's actually liberal for Russian standards,
Right.
right? But when it comes to rockets, they got that shit down pat.
He's my kind of liberal, throws people out of windows.
Yeah, well, hey, let's not forget about Gaddafi
No,
and
and
everyone's favorite liberal, Obama.
Obama, yeah. I know.
Gaddafi got sodomized with a knife.
You know. Oh,
Yeah, I remember seeing the video.
no.
Yeah, so
So
he
horrific.
might actually be the kind of liberal we like, if
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah. Let's take a look at let's take a look at JD Vance's comments here. I think this guy's a numbskull, but actually I think he made some valid points here.
Okay,
Take a look at this.
so let's see if his Yale education.
Yeah, you've seen people in their system, Ben Gavir and Smotrich, who've attacked the deal. And I guess my response to them would be, what is your exact proposal? You know, you're a country of 9 million people. You can't just kill your way out of solving every single national security problem that you have. Look at what we've, but
I think that's pretty concise. You can't kill your way out of.
Is he? Are we going to take that advice too, or is it just exclusively to Israel? Because
I mean, yeah. I think it applies to the United States, period, or
Yeah.
European powers. You know.
oh man, yeah, Europe,
You know.
not a bunch.
And then there was a video of that all the Israeli papers basically attacking JD Vance, which I thought was so freaking like wow.
Oh, yeah, they're burning American flags, aren't they?
Oh my God, it's so crazy. We're living in crazy times, man. Crazy times.
You know, I was thinking that till I was reading that book. And I
Yeah.
just realized like half this shit we didn't know of
Yeah.
because we didn't have the internet.
Right.
Like Nixon had a slush fund apparently of $100,000 from all his top donors,
Right.
and this is why you had to have the checkers. I don't know if you remember. They always mention the checkers
Right.
speech he had to give.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was to say he wasn't
I'm not a crook.
exactly.
I've every cent that I've ever got.
And that was it was like 1952 while he was running for VP for Eisenhower.
Yeah. He was crooked as shit.
Oh, he was shit, man.
You know, even Operation, what was it? Menu, was it? Or Operation, they had snack. They had all these different operations, bombing Cambodia and Laos. You know, it was like Operation Dinner, Snack.
It's like
Menu. It's like,
if you took a bunch of pre-adolescent boys and you said, okay, forget the treehouse, I'm gonna give you this building called the Pentagon.
Right.
And now you don't have to pretend to kill people, you get to kill them.
Right.
It's Lord of the Flies.
It's Lord of the Flies, exactly. Let's see, we got this guy over here.
Check out the headline.
Let's see this over here, this guy. Let me share this screen here. Oops. All right, let's see this.
Lines on these front pages in Israel. This is Yediot Achronot, one of the major papers. Sgan Nasi Artzot Habrit Yotzei Neged Sarei HaCabinet. The Vice President of the United States comes out against the government ministers. Same thing, same exact quote, in fact, in the Ma'ariv newspaper. Not the top headline, that's a political poll, but it's the main story, the attack of the Vice President. And then it has the exact same quote here. I've also printed out the Haaretz newspaper, another one of the major dailies here. And that, in smaller font here, has the same reference to the same quote. And here's why. First, listen to what it is that Vice President J.D. Vance said.
If I was in the cabinet of the Israeli government, I might not be attacking the only powerful ally that I have anywhere left in the entire world.
This is all such a change of tone and a change in the coverage that we saw of not only Vice President J.D. Vance, but also of President Donald Trump earlier in the war, when Israeli media largely celebrated the U.S. decision to attack Iran. Now it's very different. Last week, Trump described Hezbollah drones that had crossed into northern Israel as, quote, very small and meaningless. These are comments that would have been virtually unthinkable, especially under a Republican president and vice president in the past. But they're getting all the attention now as Trump pursues diplomacy with Iran with a memorandum of understanding that not only is viewed largely as an Iranian victory across most of Israel, but also draws a line around what Israel is allowed to do in Lebanon. And that has changed a lot of the tone of the coverage of what's happening here. Check out the headlines on these front pages in Israel. This is Yediot Achronot, one of the major papers.
That's a pretty interesting flip there, right?
So how long before you get shot in the neck?
Right. I said, yeah. Oh, I guess Trump is really going to get assassinated.
I don't know, man. Maybe that's why his puppet master Teal moved to Argentina.
Yeah.
By the way, did you hear about Teal's secret club?
No.
Yeah, he has a whole secret club. Some hacker hacked his this organization that they have. I think it's called Dialogue or something.
Oh, yes.
Anyway.
Yes.
And the best part is it sounded like Cosmo, like Cosmopolitan magazine. How's your sex life? How to build a cult. It was like
how to build a cult now. How to
I'm sorry, but after reading about Dulles and those guys and Nixon, I don't sit them sitting around going,
you can't take it seriously.
Cult.
Well, they already got the cult. They got the MAGA cult, you know?
Yeah, but it's like, it's crazy. Like an extraction guide, like that was one of the seminars that they were going to hold in Ireland. And apparently you had to pay 16 grand to go to this convention. But of course, if you're a billionaire, that's like 15 cents for you, right?
Right, basically. And it's very tax paid because it's a business expense.
Exactly. There you go. But I love that. How's your sex life? You know, how to build a cult or how to make a cult. I'm like, That's like, could you imagine? It's like, okay, imagine writing.
A cult too, if you think about it, the way they, just
Imagine if superheroes were real,
Mhm.
and all of a sudden, on the news, it breaks out that the supervillain's plans, emails leaked, and the first thing is any of the superheroes would say would be like, "The fuck, they're using email."
Right, right. Well, that sounds like an episode of Super Incorporated Heroes, right?
Yeah, it does.
New issue, you got to revive it now.
Oh man, yeah. At some point, I'll have to. That's just crazy.
Mhm.
Like you got. But Teal's a character. He apparently looks from the perspective of Sauron. He thinks that Sauron was right, and that Gandalf was a radical. And he
Right,
was a-
because he's a hippie, he smokes weed.
yeah, he smokes weed. He's a hippie. Got industrialized. I'm like, I don't think that's what Tolkien meant.
Well, that's
But there you go. You got it's wackadoodle.
Yeah, we live in a crazy world, and all this.
It is fucking crazy, but it's been like that for a long time. I mean,
It's always been that way from the inception. Crazy Town, USA.
except I'll say one thing. When I read about Dulles and I read about all these clowns
Right.
back then, they're genuinely scary because they're overall competent and they're overall not clownish. They're dangerous.
Right.
Like there might be some clownish things they might do where you're like, I can't believe you got away with doing that shit.
Right.
Like, for example, Kennedy getting killed
Mhm.
after you got fired as a CIA head. And guess who gets the contract? And guess who gets to be heading the Warren Commission report? You
Right.
do, Alan Dulles.
Mhm.
That's some shit. But these guys,
Mhm.
how's your sex life and how to start a cult? Like,
Mhm.
what in the cosmopolitan is that?
Right.
Like, I guess what I'm saying, Ray, is that I expect my villains to have some sort of level of competence.
Oh yeah, I agree. And then we got this nutty guy, Rubio.
So you have
This guy is like, and this is almost like a 180 what they're saying now compared to what they were saying just a few months ago. Take a look at this guy, this clown shoes.
no opinion
people-
on the IDF seizing 70%.
Well,
of
he made that
Gaza.
statement, but that's
Well,
not
but you-
part of this plan. This plan doesn't call for that. What this plan calls for, and it's what we're committed to carrying out, is that
But
the
there
people
has
of
been
Gaza
no
are governed by-
implementation of the plan.
Well, that-
Most Palestinians in Gaza are sheltering in overcrowded tents. Pests and rodents spreading disease. Health services remain limited. Israeli military strikes have escalated despite the ceasefire, pushing the total death toll to nearly 73,000. Late last week, Prime Minister Netanyahu ordered the IDF to seize 70% of Gaza in complete violation of the ceasefire agreement. So, Secretary, the State Department must take the lead for the U.S. implementing the president's 20-point plan. What is the status of implementation? What progress should we expect to see in the next few weeks? What is your response to Prime Minister Netanyahu's directive?
No one's forgotten about it. I think luckily there's not active combat operations happening of the kind that we saw a few months ago, but it's still a challenge that we're going to work through. I just wanted to correct the record for a second. You said we had not achieved our stated aim, and I know you went through it in your opening statement. We are now at a phase where we should be having or want to have an international stabilization force that goes in and provides the security. This requires the demilitarization of Hamas, which right now they have not been willing to meet the conditions necessary. It's just you can't implement it. No one's going to invest money in Hamas in Gaza until Hamas is
No.
demilitarized because they know there's going to be another war.
So, Netanyahu's directive, IDF seize 70% of Gaza. Just your view, because I need to move on.
Yeah, our view of it is I
Right,
think those comments he made last week in an appearance that he did somewhere, we have a plan. It doesn't call for that. And at the end of the day, we understand that what we want, and I think what the Israelis would ultimately want, is a Gaza that is governed by a non-Hamas.
So you have no opinion
people-
on the IDF seizing 70%.
Well,
of
he made that
Gaza.
statement, but that's
Well,
not
but you-
part of this plan. This plan doesn't call for that. What this plan calls for, and it's what we're committed to carrying out, is that
But
the
there
people
has
of
been
Gaza
no
are governed by-
implementation of the plan.
Well, that the people of Gaza are governed
let
by
me
a
just-
technocratic Palestinian government, a Palestinian.
Please, Mr. Secretary,
No,
we
but
go
you're
round
asking
and
me
round.
questions. You're not letting me answer.
Yes, you are answering them. No, you're not answering them because you don't have answers. Well, you talked earlier in your comments about humanitarian assistance and how quickly it's going out. Quite frankly, that hasn't really happened in Gaza. Commercial, not just commercial, humanitarian aid going in. Let me just talk about
That's
the
false.
humanitarian assistance.
That's a false statement. I have
It
to
is
correct
not a
you on
false
that. It's not.
statement.
We spent hundreds of millions of dollars in humanitarian aid in Gaza already. And that includes through the World Food Program and other organizations.
You know, I've talked to Cindy McCain at World Food about the situation, the humanitarian crisis in Gaza.
So have I.
And the food and
Talked to her all the
hunger,
time.
and
In
it's
fact, I met
not
with her a
there.
month ago, and she
It's
would
not
disagree
there.
with you.
So you have no.
Right. It's oh, we spent money on the food, but they're not getting the food. That's
Didn't
wrong.
Elon Musk cut that?
Did Elon Musk cut what? The food?
Yeah, he
program?
cut the USA aid.
Well, he did. Yes, he did. And then when he was with his Doge group, which is still dodgy, and I can't even get through the trademark office. I was calling the trademark office. I was on the phone for 3 hours and never got through. It just leaves you on a message. It used to be like 10, 15 minutes, tops 20 minutes that you wait on for a phone call. And then you can't even then when you're typing in the website so that you can access it, it sends you a security code. You put the security code and then it's supposed to open the site, and it doesn't. It just sends you right back to the page. So it's almost like trademarks are going to expire if no one's at the helm. Is anybody working? It must be like a skeleton crew there or something,
Yeah, well, they cut so many people. And that fish face, because that's what I like to call him, fish boy face. He has that face that looks like a fish.
Who's that? Musk?
Musk, yeah, he's got a fish face.
Tom Kern calls him Elon Muskrat.
Muskrat, yeah, a lot of people call him Muskrat. Yeah, he's no, he's definitely not mammal. He's not mammalian.
They messed with this country, and it's going to be a long time. You're lucky that you're not here, man. They wrecked it.
They're trying to fuck the rest of us too.
Yeah,
everywhere. It's like an international thing. I never get the chance. I tell everybody, look,
it's elites versus everyone else.
Yeah, and it's a global thing. It isn't locked to the States. This isn't locked to Africa. It isn't locked to Asia or Europe or Latin America. It's everybody.
Everybody everywhere.
And we all have to start exchanging notes on the different zones because we all sort of think in our little corners, but we don't realize that the struggles next door are the exact same.
Right.
And I'm not saying you got to go over there and help them, but it kind of helps going, wait a second, they're screwing you the same. Yeah. And then you can exchange notes. Right. So, yeah, I mean, they're trying stuff here too. They just recently, the EU Parliament passed a thing for a bill to allow for migrant camps as a thing, very similar to ICE. They'll sit there and yip. We hate Trump. We hate Trump. We hate Trump.
Right, but then
they'll follow and do the same shit as Trump.
They're doing his bidding.
Yeah. Because the far right is completely bought off.
Yeah.
The Epstein files prove that.
Yeah.
So my thing is, for those who might be out there who are leftists, those of you who might be Marxists, and those who aren't on the right, if you really want to get under your friends' skins who are right wing, don't fight them with ideology and try to get them to see sympathy and compassion.
Right.
Start pushing their buttons and saying, well, how much can I pay you to change your mind? Because it's capitalism, right? We can buy everything. I can buy your opinion. Because that's the world that we're living in. We're not living in an ideological world. We're living in a world where we're mercenaries. We want to think that we're living in this other world, but to get to that world, we got to realize the current one we're living in. And it's literally just mercenary, shit. That's why we don't work together as communities. That's why we can get picked off little by little, one by one, and bought out.
And we stand.
So, but I can tell you, right wing people don't like when you start asking. So how much you get paid? Maybe I can get you on a salary, man. Get you to work for me.
Yeah, for real.
That runs them, but it's capitalism. They don't like to see that part of capitalism.
Right.
They'll sell their sister, their mother, their kids for that money. because all this shit that's happening with Epstein is about money. Nobody's going out there and getting angry about it because they don't want to mess with their money.
Absolutely.
So hey.
And then there's this. A lot of Americans don't know this because a lot of media hasn't talked about it. But French president.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead. Here in France. Go ahead.
French President Emmanuel Macron pulls off what could be the greatest diplomatic troll of all time by getting Trump to sign his $300 billion surrender deal at Versailles Palace. The ignoramus Trump would have been clueless as to the historical significance of the location as the Germans surrendered to the Allies at Versailles in 1919.
Like what the?
Macron's a bit of a himbo.
Right.
So I don't think he thought of it. You know, for those of you who don't know, that's a male bimbo.
Yeah.
You know, he's there's a reason he has a 19% approval rating here in France.
Right.
So it must have been someone else around him who thought of that.
Of course.
They thought that they were being clever.
Right.
But I think it's more kabuki theater than anything else.
Of course.
And here's a little
violated it already. Like not even a day. It's been violated.
A little bit of a tip for those who don't know this about Versailles, because I lived for about 7 years. I lived one town over from Versailles. So Versailles was the place I would go to see movies and paperwork and everything. At the foot of the Palace of Versailles, there's a street right on the corner of it called Rockefeller. I really don't think that Macron did it maliciously. I think he's just wanting to be seen as important. That's what he's so annoying. He wants to be a historical figure. And two, Europe is beholden to us. This is something very uncomfortable because we don't like to think of ourselves as an empire, but they're beholden to us. Macron, when he was in high school, was the leader of the American club in his high school.
Right.
So he's Americanized through and through. He probably didn't even see the irony himself. It wasn't a troll. They're probably trying to wrap things up because they're afraid of the fertilizer not making it here. So I know John Cusack saw it and everything else, but once you know about Operation Gladio, you know about the amount of money that's been dropped here, the weapons kicking around, that it was the stay-at-home armies with neo-Nazis and stuff. It's not what we think it is. We tend to take Europe as being independent. We see them as being a separate entity from us. Whereas when we say jump, they'll say how high. Now, there's certain things they couldn't do with, like Spain and others with Iran and Palestine. But it was because they didn't want their countries erupting into violence.
Right.
But the elite, they're all bought off. They're owned.
100%.
You know, and I hate to break that a lot of bubbles, people out there. But part of the reason that we don't have a serious left in America and we have a very anemic left here in Europe is because of the Cold War and because of bastards like the Allen Dulles. So we can't look back and go, how come we're not getting health care? Where's the New Deal?
Right.
He got killed the moment FDR died. And they slowly killed it, suffocated that baby in the water till we got Reagan. You know, and I know some out there might be like, oh, it was Russia. No, it's us.
It's us.
You know, tough titty said the kitty. So
and you got Colombian forces fighting in Sudan. Like, what the hell?
Oh, Colombians are a huge mercenary force.
Yeah.
They've been fighting in Ukraine. And actually, the mercs in Ukraine, the Colombian mercs in Ukraine, have been pissed off with the Ukrainians for the amount of racism they have to put up with.
Yeah, they're hired by the United Arab Emirates It's crazy.
Yep.
I got a little video here. I got a little video. Let's see. Let's see if we could go to the videotape. Did you send me any tapes by any chance?
How did Colombian private military contractors end up fighting in Sudan alongside the Rapid Support Forces, a force which has carried out widespread killings and rapes across Sudan? It all appears to start with a security company based in Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates, a company that Human Rights Watch found links to the UAE's highest levels of government, and apparently has been hiring the Colombian fighters. So why does this matter? Well, because it adds to mounting evidence that the UAE is providing military support to the RSF. Since the start of the war in Sudan in 2023, the RSF has been fighting the Sudanese military, vying for control of the country. In late 2024, videos emerged from the aftermath of an ambush in the desert of North Darfur, showing that Colombian military contractors had crossed into Sudan from Libya. We decided to investigate. Human Rights Watch spoke to Colombian private military contractors and residents of Darfur, amongst others. We also verified, analyzed, and geolocated multiple photos and videos. We found that Colombian military contractors were present in El Fasher, the capital of North Darfur, when the RSF went on a rampage there in October, killing thousands of civilians and raping women and girls. We also found evidence of Colombian contractors involved in the training of child soldiers by the RSF. Global Security Services Group, an Abu Dhabi-based security company, appears to have hired the Colombian contractors who were deployed to Sudan.
That's pretty long. I didn't realize it was that long.
Yeah.
But it's
there's a lot of operations going in Africa. That's part of the reason that I think that Macron's not trolling Trump, because France has a lot to lose in Africa, and Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali.
Yeah.
So, and it's all for resources and shit. Oh, by the way, I'm going to correct myself. I said Michael Cohen. It was Stephen F. Cohen. He was the professor of Russian history. Incredible, but unfortunately, because this is the thing that kills me. We always talk about, oh, we need to be educated and blah, blah, blah. He came along, tried to say try to educate us, but because of our, appropriate anger towards what happened with Ukraine, I get it. You got invaded.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to sort of put aside your emotions and understand the situation a little better.
Right.
But he got called a Putin puppet up until the day he died.
Mm-hmm.
And here's a guy that was on Larry King all the time. And, he was just trying to get us to explain but in terms of the Colombian mercs, they're all over the place. I'm sure Blackwater has something to do with it too. Or was it called now? That's not Blackwater anymore. It's Black something or the other. The Eric Prince.
Oh, no.
That mercenary company.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mostly ex soldiers,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. No.
It's like CIA. This is like nothing's really changed. We're getting older and we're just seeing more.
Yeah, we have the technology and the means to see more. Like when you read about Dulles and stuff, that stuff would be buried.
Yeah.
You would have to take people through memoirs, interviewing people to find out.
Mhm.
We're seeing a lot of this stuff in real time, which is different.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, it doesn't surprise me, man.
It's a little disappointing,
It's and and it kind of makes you feel like sometimes a lot of the stories that are put out there and written in terms of entertainment.
Yes.
We could be writing more things that could still be entertaining, but getting us to understand the world we're living in right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know a lot of people out there love Obama, and that's fine. But what happened to Libya and what followed after Libya, no, I don't. Because they're selling human beings again. The slave markets are open.
Yep.
And I know he recognized that it was a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
But as the country song goes, Jesus loves you. I don't.
There he is.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's been going on for a while, like Sudan, and then I mean, did it ever really end? They just keep. It's almost like this network is just moving from country to country. Oh, we can't do it here. Move to this one. Do this one. Do this one. I mean, we have so many people being abducted. Even these hackers that we see on the phone, trying to con us into stuff. Those people are being abducted and forced to hack.
Yeah.
To scam you.
Or sometimes it could just be operatives trying to get extra black budget money. Like a portion of what we don't understand about organized crime is that it works with the system. It isn't just like some guy who just steals a car. Even if he does steal a car, that car is going somewhere. It's getting stripped. Someone has the money. That money is probably getting divided up. It's a whole system, but we sort of partition things to sort of think of it as, I don't know, like, oh, here's the mob. This is the Italian mob. This is the Russian mob.
Right.
This is this mob. They all
countries
connect and work with each other.
It's American. It's really countries, they like to like simplify it into like racial groups, but it's I mean,
no, what's
in blueberries? Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. And once you start to dig into like I'm reading right now. I'm also reading the Men of Tomorrow, Men. Yeah, Men of Tomorrow. It won the Will Eisner.
Yeah.
I'm reading about Jerry Siegel, how Will Eisner had turned down Superman because he had a studio. They sent him a letter saying, "Yeah, you're not there yet. You have to work on your anatomy," kind of bullshit, right? And then that Superman takes off, and his studio's scrambling to create a Superman. Just goes to show that even if you're very talented and you're very skilled, you really don't know. No one knows what's going to happen.
No one knows. It's kind of like it's all chance, right?
It's all chance, right? But yeah,
people are saying that this Supergirl movie is going to bomb. It probably will, but it might not.
Might not. We really don't know. There's certain factors, right?
People want to go to see. A lot of little girls out there, a lot of mommies. Just like Barbie, they thought Barbie was going to bomb. That made $1 billion.
There might be a lot of perverted middle-aged men that want to go see from a different.
Right. That's very true too.
There's a demographic there for that too.
I mean, think about what's their biggest complaint about this movie. Oh, she looks like a guy because she's not wearing lipstick. She's not wearing makeup. Oh, it's like
Really?
she's fulfilling their little girl fantasies. Like
Yeah, totally, absolutely.
she's woke. It's like we don't.
Here's the killer between The Devil's Chessboard and Men of Tomorrow. The link between the two is the mob. Lucky Luciano.
Yes.
It's the mob.
Yes, like Luciano killed Joe Mazzarera, and that opened up. That's where Murder Inc. comes in. I was just showing the mafia stories from Kirby. Talks about Murder Inc. That was like the Jewish mafia, merging.
And then they kind of graduated where they started to deal more with the white collar crime, and they then would deal with the Italian mob, who were more the enforcers.
Yes.
And more of the ground men. That part's not talked about because that would be
the Irish mob. Boardwalk Empire, even though it's a fictionalized story, it is based loosely on those things that were happening, especially during Prohibition.
Yeah, that's why I think that we need to, as much as superheroes are fun, sort of moving towards more like stories about what's happening with mercs and stuff in this world.
Yeah, exactly.
And not like from a State Department type way. Like, you too can join the CIA and kill some brown people. Getting back to the James Bond thing, right?
Looking at George Carlin, who's been like, I was like, man, what would George say if he was still alive?
He gave up on us. He already said it. He gave up on humanity.
Yeah.
In a sense, I don't blame him. Another sense, it's like, well, we're still here, so we got to do something.
Yeah.
Right.
He's like, I'm done.
And
with that, we have a new Lego video.
Oh, I was going to say one last thing. Lucky Luciano was best friends with Meyer Lansky when he was a kid.
Right.
Anyway, roll the videotape.
And that was the Meyer Lansky. He wasn't he the one that was wasn't he the one that was like the big time gambler? Like, you know,
He's the one that founded Vegas.
Yeah.
If I'm correct. And he had the goods on J. Edgar Hoover. J. Edgar Hoover was having an affair with his number 2. And apparently he had some pictures of J. Edgar Hoover giving some fellatio to his buddy. Yeah. So this is why for a long time they say J. Edgar Hoover dismissed the whole mafia as a conspiracy theory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He had the goods on him.
Yeah. It's like, I think Clint Eastwood did a movie on Hoover where it was DiCaprio playing him. You know, that was actually a decent movie. You know, I wish they went. I felt it was a little whitewashed because it's like a Republican point of view, but I wish they kind
of need like I hate the system point of view to do it right.
Yeah,
like, I'm not gonna give any of you guys, none of you guys walking out of this shit.
Right? They try to dignify him, just like the Reagan movie. I enjoyed it, but they just try to dignify him. They whitewash everything.
There was a Reagan movie.
Oh yeah, Dennis Quaid. Came out last year. I saw it with my son.
Oh God.
Yeah. It would exactly. Nobody paid attention. I forgot.
Actually, that was one of the other things that sort of made me go with Obama a bit. Quite a bit, actually. When he said that he was a Reagan fan, I'm like, yeah, really? Like, you're gonna go down there?
Oh, it's actually 2 years ago already. Wow, my God, how time flies.
But I'll say one thing about Obama that I do appreciate. He's a smart man. He was an incredible imperial manager.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I'm not in favor of the empire.
Yes, he was.
And I can't take that away from him. He was really good at it. And unfortunately for the empire.
And he's charismatic. You know?
Very charismatic.
I would say he was a good huckster. You know,
he's awesome.
You know, people love the guy. You know,
yeah. I'll give it to him. He was really good.
I recommend this movie. I recommend it. It's actually good. I kind of
they have Bonzo or whatever that freaking
bedtime for Bonzo.
Bedtime for Bonzo.
Yeah, Dennis Quaid. It was a good film. I just think they kind of shied away from, you know, the hard questions. They talk about Oliver North, but they kind of gloss it over. And I'm just like, what? Come on, man. No. It's almost like that Michael Jackson movie. Like, I thought it was good, but then Trevor Monteith mentioned to me yesterday, he was like, it was a fun movie, but I didn't get to learn anything about his family. Everything was about Michael. There's like nothing focused on the brothers, their personalities, their likes, their dislikes. You know, you didn't really learn anything other than the music. It was kind of like a musical, which I think that's where they based it off of, was that musical.
Yeah, no, I agree. Actually, I was my daughter, who's I'm a fan too, but my daughter's like a super fan.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, yeah, it's actually good for little kids, and that's it. You get to know who Michael was. But I felt that, yeah, it was just like, which Jackson is which? I didn't know which one.
Right, who's who? They didn't.
It was just like a wallpaper.
So basketball, and you saw them on stage, and that was it.
Yeah, and it was like wallpaper.
Right, it literally was. They really didn't really go. Yeah. They didn't dig deep.
But the reason it was, they were saying that they couldn't go into Diana Ross, they couldn't go into some of the other people, was there's a lot of legal wranglings. So
Jackson didn't want to be in the film either.
Yeah.
She hates the fact that her brother and sister are capitalizing off his memory.
Yeah, Janet just, And Paris said, you know, and out of all his kids, I think Paris carries the most of his features.
Absolutely.
But anyway, you had a video.
Here we go. Play the videotape, King of Cartoons.
Get him! Please welcome the 45th. Get the fuck out of here! And 47th PDF file! President of the United States. PDF file. Donald Trump. There he is, get him! Please welcome the 45th. Get the fuck out of here! And 47th.
Is that it? No, it can't be it. Is that it? Really?
PDF file.
It's the wrong one. Whoops. Look at that. I queued the wrong one. That's the beginning, but they didn't do the whole thing.
PDF file.
PDF file. Like a PDF file.
Yeah, man.
Wrong one. Hold on a second.
Crazy though.
Anyway, how did I mess that up?
You know who's a really good huckster though? But it's thanks to the media, Elon Musk.
Elon Musk, big time.
He is.
That's the thing. Like Time Magazine, all these people give these people attention. That's what the media is giving them relevance.
Dude, do you know that 85% of his mission statement to gain all this money that now has made him a trillionaire, 85% of it for SpaceX is banking on data centers in space.
Ridiculous.
I'm like, you know, the logistics behind it is like insanely
Unrealistic.
hard.
They just make shit up.
Yeah, they're just ripping us off, man.
It's all money laundering.
Yeah.
I don't know. If I was president, I'd be like, you know what? We're ending the space program. We don't need it. And actually, that did happen. They did end NASA for a while, right? And then they brought it back. It's like, no, you're not stealing any more money. No, we are on to you. You know that,
or at least limit the projects. We need to get rockets into space for our satellites.
They need to pay their teachers and educate their people. You know, people need free, not just free healthcare, but people need to go to college for free. You know, this is our taxes pay way enough more money than, you know, than we're being provided with, you know?
So this is not the time for me to tell you that other than local taxes, our federal taxes do not fund anything.
Right. Exactly.
No, like literally, no, like that's not how it works.
Mm-hmm. It's
When
all
we pay our federal taxes, it's actually a form of money destruction.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes and just goes. When they put together a bill to then say we're going to spend it on this,
Right.
then the money appears. So it doesn't transfer from one account to the other account.
No.
That's how they cheat us. They make us think, oh yeah, we have all this money we've taken from everyone and we're putting it over here. That's not how it works. And
Right.
that's because they have the power of the printing press.
Right.
Now, for states and municipal governments, that is definitely how it works in terms of
Right.
they can't just make money out of thin air.
Right.
So they're just taking our money and they're just printing whatever the fuck they want for whatever they want.
I'm sure it's going.
What I'm saying.
It's going into these rich people's pockets.
Yeah.
I mean, we know it's not going for infrastructure because it's all the infrastructure is rotting.
Yep.
You know, it's completely rotten, and
Yep.
it's a total sham. Everything you know is a lie. That's basically, which is a book. Which I'll talk about that next week. You know,
It's a scam. That's why I said when they were talking the data stuff like AI and that's why I always would say with what energy and material, because our grid is falling apart.
Right? Exactly.
You know?
I found the AI video. It's about Mexico
All right.
and Iran. Here we go. Oh, let me get the volume on. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I hate these little pop-up ads. It's so annoying. It's like,
Me too.
they're so irritating.
Iran touched down in Tijuana before sunrise.
Surrounded by security guards.
It flew in from Turkey and landed at the most heavily watched border on earth. Not just any team, not just any trip. This was history arriving under political pressure. Visa blockades and active war zones.
Trump publicly said stay away.
FIFA overruled and said play.
Miguel and Ray told his squad they would not break.
Medic ties relocated the base.
Signed the paperwork and made the final call.
Tijuana became the new headquarters.
So Iran could stand tall.
Yeah, they qualified across Asia, completely undefeated. 30 points, 9 victories. Taremi scored the crucial equalizer. In that moment began a real story.
From Tashkent to Tehran to the Azadi Stadium on that decisive night.
Iran earned their World Cup ticket and they earned every single bit of it in a fight. March 25, 2025, Azadi Stadium in Tehran. Tonight, everything was decided. Uzbekistan arrived with 20 points and Iran carried 22. Nothing was one-sided. Erkinov broke the deadlock in minute 16. Abozbekilev made it 2 goals to none. The crowd inside Azadi went completely silent. Everyone wondered what Iran had done. Taremi stepped forward just before halftime and struck the ball to cut the deficit in half.
Then with 7 minutes remaining on the clock, he equalized and secured the mathematical path.
The qualification was confirmed, the ticket was sealed, and the Asian press applauded the resilience.
Galinoui led his squad through the entire third round, unbeaten with remarkable discipline.
Van protected every post, high socket, captained every single line with experience. Izadullah, he anchored the midfield. Godos and Golazade provided creative intelligence.
A 4-2-3-1 system built entirely on fast physical transitions and defensive cover.
17 domestic league players were rostered because the Iranian league suspended due to war.
It's actually a 10-minute video. I just saw that. Like, nope, we're not playing that whole thing, but that's interesting. It's like,
yeah,
you know, Iranians are in Mexico because of the FIFA. You know.
Yeah, actually, a lot of people, I think, because European football isn't that popular in the States.
Mm-hmm.
But it is always interesting that when every World Cup comes in, there's a certain level of politics that comes with it.
Oh, absolutely.
Find out about different countries and what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get to see which countries get favored over other countries. And
Exactly.
then, like in Toronto, when I used to live in Toronto, we all have our villains.
Mhm.
So everyone, if you're not Italian, you would cheer against Italy because they're just the most arrogant fans.
Mm.
You know, didn't care for Germany. So it's sort of interesting where a lot of, I wouldn't say tribalism because that's not an appropriate word, but
Mhm.
resentment started coming out.
Right.
But with this one, it's been exceptional. And
Mhm.
America's created some new resentments. You heard about all the African players haven't been able to have their fans go over.
Yeah, and they've
They
been
can't afford the visas.
right. They made it so expensive, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and one goalie, the guy that shut out Spain,
Right.
this guy saved like I think 7 or 8 shots
Yeah.
on goal, and amazing. He was
Right.
from Cabo Verde, and he's 40, an electrician, 40 years old. He did not move like a 40-year-old.
Wow. He must have eaten his Wheaties.
So he's like, he goes from like having a following of 46,000 or something, or something pathetic in terms of if you think of Instagram and a soccer star, but considering where he's from, it's a very tiny island, it's a
Right.
lot, to like 6 million people
Mm-hmm.
because they're starting to find out about his story. Long story short, his mother couldn't make it to see his first game, and it was looking like she was not going to make it because of the visa fee of $15,000.
That's crazy.
You got to pay 15 grand for the visa. They supposedly give you the money back.
Is that for the oil?
No, it's actually to enter the country if you come from certain countries, you know, the S-hole countries that Trump got.
Right.
So anyway, I think the final version of the story, the truth, was that his country's team and FIFA paid for her to be able to go over to the States.
Right.
But he's one guy who got very popular. There are dozens of people who haven't been able to go to see the World Cup from all these other countries because of these stupid, racist, and xenophobic visa laws.
Right. Yeah.
You
And
know,
the referee, I believe, they kicked them out. Like, you know.
yes, from Somalia.
Mm-hmm.
Got told he had connections to terrorism. He was supposed to be, I think he was going to be the ref who was going to arbiter the last game, the final game. And so FIFA had to pay him his salary for that. He got offered to referee the championship game for the Euro Cup.
Right.
But I wish I could say I'm surprised.
But no, I'm not, because it's like you said,
It's a racist country.
We're a racist country. The United States is a racist country.
Very racist. We just had a 1-year-old in Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
A 1-year-old shot by a cop because the cop thought that his mother
shoplifted
diapers.
Right.
Like what the? Who cares?
Right. Who cares?
Diapers.
It's like you're gonna shoot somebody over this.
And this little kid will never live. He was only 1.
Yeah.
You know, so, and I know I'm going to get a lot of heat for this because I know people love to say Japan is the most racist country in the world. France is the most racist country in the world. No, motherfuckers. We own that throne. We own that throne. And everyone sits and kisses our ass at that throne. We are the most racist country on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. I know that's going to anger a lot of people, and I just frankly don't give a shit. But a
Mm-hmm.
little baby boy, 1 year old, little black boy, snuffed out for diapers.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he shot at. I mean, that guy should go to jail. He shot at the car, right? And shot the one that's just. She even said there's a kid in the car, and he still shot in the car.
Yeah. But this is why when people were crying woke and complaining about Black Lives Matter, it would piss me off.
Mm-hmm.
Because that example of that baby boy getting killed is exactly what our society thinks of black people. Our
Yep.
lives don't fucking matter to them.
Exactly.
That's why when I hear, oh, well, that triggers, that's a dog whistle to saying, I really want to say something racist, but it wouldn't be very polite. So I'm going to shit on trans people.
Right.
Now, I am not necessarily the greatest fan of the Obamas. There's a lot of things I don't like
Right.
that were done, mostly foreign policy, mostly not going after fucking Wall Street.
Mm-hmm.
But turning around and saying a woman that's given birth to 2 children, that she's a man,
Mm-hmm.
is again the racism and the transphobia.
Yep. Yep. That was the wrestling match, the 250th anniversary. Yeah.
Yep. So,
Yeah.
you know, and we're so comfortable with smearing our political enemies.
I mean, they should have cleared what he was going to say before he said it on live television. On top of it, where's the Nielsen ratings? Remember, Janet Jackson got like $2 million for a nipple exposure.
Apparently, a black titty will get you off of TV. It's just too powerful, man.
Even though Justin Timberlake told her, I was like, I didn't know.
Yeah. He should have been fined too.
Yeah,
But that guy who threw Janet under the bus, not Timberlake, but it was the CBS exec, I think.
Yeah.
He had it out for the Jacksons too.
Yeah.
So.
And it was like literally like a millisecond. You can't even see it. That was like 2 minutes.
And she had some giant ninja star thing on anyway.
Yeah, she did. She had like a little sun.
You didn't see anything.
You didn't see anything.
You know, you see probably more in Vegas.
Oh yeah, of course, on the billboards and stuff. Than
well, you know, at the showgirls and shit. That almost looked like what she was wearing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but
very true. This is a wholesome show. I'm like, yeah, whatever. There's nothing wholesome about the United States. I actually found another Lego video. Hopefully, this is the right one. I'm
going to call you Legolas.
Legolas. Legolas.
Sorry, bad dad joke.
Let's see this one. Let's see if this is it.
Obama steps up, but cold as ice. Trump's deal is weak. Look at him roll the dice. You tore up my deal, called it the worst. Now you're begging Iran, making it even worse. Obama roasted Donnie, roasted. Left the whole room silent. Trump looking lost. You said you were better, the greatest deal maker, but you just proved Obama was the real one. Faker! You gave them billions, lifted all the sanctions. Now you're crying. This is not what I wanted. Obama watching like I told you so. Your art of the deal turned into art of the blow. 30 seconds was all it took. Obama spoke facts and you got cooked. From no new wars to bombing, then begging. Trump's foreign policy straight up embarrassing. Obama roasted Donnie. Burn! Forget Trump cheering all over the world. You started the fire, now you're feeling the heat. Thanks, Obama, best roast of the year. Obama steps up calm but cold as ice. Trump's deal is weak. Look at him roll the dice. You tore up my deal, called it the worst. Now you're begging Iran, making it even worse. Obama roasted Donnie, roasted. Left the whole room silent. Trump looking lost. You said you were better, the greatest deal maker, but you just proved Obama was the real one. Faker! You gave them billions, lifted out the sanctions. Now you're crying. This is not what I wanted. Obama watching like I told you so. Your art of the deal turned into art of the blow. 30 seconds was all it took. Obama spoke facts and you got cooked. From no new wars to bombing and begging. Trump's foreign policy straight up embarrassing. Obama roasted Donnie. Burn! Forget Trump cheering all over the world. You started the fire, now you're feeling the heat. Thanks, Obama. Best roast of the year.
Music's going a little long. But
Sounds like they're trying to imitate Macklemore. Yeah. He's gotten radical. Macklemore got freaking radical, man. Have you ever heard that song "Effed Up"?
No.
By Macklemore.
My new theme song is Childish Gambino's "Nobody Gives a Fuck."
Oh, well, there's one.
Every time I go to work, I'm like thinking of that song.
Macklemore came out with a song about, I think, a year or two ago.
Right.
It's about Palestine, and they're talking. He talks all about the crap they're doing.
Oh yeah.
Like he went full tilt. Like he's been supporting Palestine. Like he didn't pull any punches, which is a far cry from his going to the thrift store. Although it's a hilarious song.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. It's the world that we live in, man. The world that we live in. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just I try so hard to like make sense of it, but the more I try, the more I feel like I'm losing myself. So I can't think about it. it's like
I kind of have my attitude is sort of like this. Again, it goes to that reason versus emotion.
Yeah.
I think that when you try to rationalize and try to understand why people are doing what they're doing, that's where we get messed up, because it's that small portion of us.
Right.
And you're dealing with people that run this planet that are more emotional than they are rational. They want to dominate people. They don't want to even make profit, because if they want to make profit, they can make a shitload of profit doing tons of other things.
Right.
But I think they get a kick out of feeling special because they won the genetic lottery, or at least they think. They definitely won the class lottery. And they like to watch other people grovel at their feet, and they like to squish people like cockroaches. And once you understand that, you can't really, they definitely won the class lottery.
Exactly.
You can't really understand it in a rational way. It's more of an emotional way.
Right.
What I don't understand is how the rest of us don't go, okay, you guys are fucking nuts.
Because it's insanity.
It's insanity. The rest of us will create Illuminati, all sorts of shadowy organizations, which I'm not saying they don't exist, but I don't really think they give a shit where everything's going. That's the difference. That's the difference. I think they just like, yeah, I think we'll do this today. Sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no long-term 100% goal. And if there is a long-term goal, it's so caught up with all the little short-term goals. They're never going to get to the long-term goals.
They're really not.
And I think that's scary for a lot of us. So that's how I approach it. That's why I say we're run by Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, clearly we are.
Don't try to figure out Wiley other than he's up to something fucking stupid.
Yeah, and it never ends. The stupidity just never ends. It drives me insane.
Never.
It drives me so insane. I get chest pains and I insane.
Oh, that's hysterical. It's like all of us middle-aged guys not going to be rapping about our ailments.
It's like that's what I was doing with my students the other day. Like they kept throwing in some raps. I'm always talking in rhyme like Dr. Seuss, and then they're like, "Oh, that's a bar." So we go back and forth with each other, see until we run out of words to say. You know, until.
Just throw in orange. I'll always screw them up. Always. Nothing rhymes with orange. That drove Eminem crazy. Yeah. It's the only word in the English language that doesn't have a word that rhymes.
Really? I never thought about orange. Yeah.
So yeah, don't try to figure it out. Just realize we're run by bastards.
Yeah, we are. I know I work for bastards too. You know?
My biggest fear is that, like I was talking about soccer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how fans react when they get a little bit of freedom. That same outburst, I fear that if we let things slide too much and we don't rationally organize,
Right.
that outburst of anger towards the injustice of the system will be like a wild, unruly beast. That's my fear. It's not even revolution. It's not even rebellion that I fear. Those are not good scenarios either.
Pure chaos.
Pure chaos, yeah. Because people just get angry. And if you've seen someone who just loses their cool,
I've lived it.
You've lived it. So you would know. You're just in the way.
Yeah.
Right? You're just striking out, and multiply that by millions of people. That's scary shit.
Yeah.
You know.
No, it really is. It really is stressful. You know. There was this thing about a spy that I had lined up. Let me see if I could find it. It was like, yeah, it's so crazy. I mean,
no, don't try, man. Just
it's like, oh, it's on Instagram. That's why I couldn't find it.
I always say, just try to understand the sequence of events that got us here.
Absolutely.
That's about all you can do, because their motives. I mean, they're dudes who just do shit because they like little kids, which is fucked up.
They need to just have the death penalty for pedophiles. That's it.
And the thing is, you have to prove that they are first.
Yeah, well, a lot of them are getting caught with stuff on their computer. That's good enough for me.
That would be, yep. Uh-oh.
There's one dude that had over 10,000 files. They asked him to stop. He said, no, he's not. They didn't even throw him in jail.
But meanwhile, those keep talking about Michael Jackson from 17 years ago.
That's ridiculous. Exactly. They're not talking about the Epstein files, but they're talking about this shit.
It's like you've been listening to Beat It. By the way, look at Jeffrey Epstein. He's a stand-up guy, right?
Oh, you know, or Palm Beach Pete, which is the same dude. Jeffrey Epstein is not dead. They were right. Here we go.
The next war, which will be probably against Turkey and Egypt. We don't think geostrategically. Forget about Jolani. Forget about Donald Trump. I am principally worried, first of all, for the welfare of our Druze brothers across the border, but secondarily, if Jolani and his Islamists actually reoccupy that area,
that they will.
We will have the Turks. We will have the Turks right on our border.
We eventually will, and I'm not so sure that we will have as easy a time with the Turks as we've had with the Iranians. I've been following Turkish
military doctrine, and
the strongest army in the Middle East.
The storm is coming.
Yes, of course. And they're
I'm
a member
not,
of NATO.
And even worse, they're a member of NATO. So I look at Iran as a problem we absolutely have to finish. And I'll explain what I mean by that. Gaza, same thing. And the Hezbollah. Why? Why am I fixated on this now? Because we have to be prepared for the next war, which will be probably against Turkey and Egypt. So
Let's hope not.
I hope not also, but we, hope, you remember, it was the last demon out of Pandora's box. We have to.
So yeah, it's like
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like this is that the
Yeah.
end game? Is that the end game where
Yeah. But no. Yeah, he doesn't think geostrategically. That's clearly for sure.
That's for sure.
Turkey has like close to a million-man army.
Mm-hmm.
Israel, if it's lucky, can scrounge up.
They're going to be like in a Ukraine position where they have over 200,000 dead, and then kidnapping people over here to fight the war.
and citizen soldiers as opposed to
right,
well-trained.
Overweight girls.
And they're not kids. They're not going to be shooting at kids. Nope. They're going to be shooting at other people who are going to be shooting back.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I don't think they want to do that. Turkey threatened to steal our nukes off our base once.
Mm-hmm.
They quite literally said, because I think it was a while back, we tried to coup Erdogan. It was with Obama.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't go quite so well. He got back into power, and they were threatening to take our base, our NATO base, and where we keep our nukes.
Right.
So to do that, it would put Turkey at odds with the U.S. Turkey's a slippery character, like the government.
Mm-hmm.
One moment they're supporting Russia, the next moment they're supporting Iran, the next moment they're supporting Israel. Sometimes they support, the U.S. on Thursdays. So. In a way, it might be a kick in the ass to the Turks, though.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that would not be a very good idea for Israel. And yes, the Middle East will go up in smoke, but I don't think it would be to what they think it would happen. I think we might be looking at Israel in past tense if they pull that. And I don't mean this to be like, that's my wish. It's not. I think you should stay the hell away from it, but moths and flames.
Yeah, it's not it really isn't.
It's stupid. It's really stupid.
It's scary, it's stupid, it's irresponsible.
And he was talking about the guy from Syria, right?
Yeah.
Giuliani. They're the guys who helped him get there. Turkey and Israel helped that guy take over Syria and topple Assad.
Right. Now I was wondering, because this guy looks familiar. Is that the guy who spent like 30 years in American prison for selling spy?
Oh yeah, that's Ben Shapiro's uncle, right?
Yeah, I was just wondering, is that
I think it might be. The guy who sold the nuclear
yeah, it's like he sold American secrets
on nukes to Israel. That's how Israel has its nukes. That's why he's so beloved in Israel.
Jonathan Pollard, yeah, that's him.
Yeah, I think he's Ben Shapiro's uncle.
Yeah. This guy basically was a traitor to the country.
Mm-hmm.
And they're interviewing him like he is like some like wealth of knowledge. He's been in jail for 30 years or something like that.
Well, he's a traitor to us.
All right.
But he's a hero to them.
Right. It's just
he's the one who got them the nuke, right? So they're going to be talking to him like, hey, dude, Prometheus, you stole the fire, dude. How you doing?
Right. It's mind blowing. That was Israeli TV. That was an Israeli television ad. So, I don't know. No comment.
All I know is if they pull that,
that's the point of no return.
No, Turkey will maul them.
Yeah.
Turkey will maul them because they get their gas. They get a good chunk of their gas from Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
So all they have to do is close off the spigot and they're screwed. I think that's why they're banking on getting the gas from Gaza.
Yes.
To bypass Turkey and then attack Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. You also have a soft spot. If you have your little factories and shit to steal the gas, they could just whack them.
Yeah.
The gas is gone. So.
And then you still have like conscription battles. You know, you could tell that they're ready. They know they're going to need soldiers, so they're trying to have the Arabs fight conscription. So
yeah,
not the Arabs. Sorry, the Orthodox, the ultra.
The Orthodox. I mean, if they could get the Arabs to fight, they'd get them to fight.
Yeah, sure.
You know.
Yeah, I think
they're not too proud to beg. I mean, a lot of Hamas has changed over.
Yeah.
So it's not even the original Hamas from the 80s, but in the 80s, they were the ones who funded Hamas. So they're the ones who funded Giuliani or whatever his name is. So.
They were funding them. Netanyahu funded them $36 million a month for 5 years. All US dollars in cash, and signed a contract with Qatar. It's in the DB files if you don't believe me. I'm not being anti-Semitic.
Well,
that's a fact.
They said at the very beginning when they first created Israel that Israel couldn't exist in peace. It needed to have an enemy.
Right.
Because it's such a divided society. The only way you could keep that divided society intact is by
they needed a reason to acquisition more land illegally. That's basically, and that's what they've always been doing. You know,
and like there's only 9 million. Right. I mean, there's in total, I think, 15 million Jews on the planet. Some of which, by the way, live in Iran, and some of which live in Gaza.
Yeah, and Syria, and they have no problem with them.
There are Palestinians.
We're not talking about them in general. You know, we're not talking about them in general. We're talking about the Zionists, right? So here goes the conscription. This has been ongoing for over a year. Israel's been trying to get these guys to join the military, and they're against it. You know, because they're religious, so they get stipends. They don't have to work. You know, they get. I mean, if you get to live off for free off of American dollars, wouldn't you? You see, it's just like a Jew.
Oh yeah, it's not what people think it is.
Yeah, it's not. We have this idea that everyone's in solidarity over there. No, it's not. 20% is against the war.
Yeah, the other 80% wants to just genocide everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's the scary part. Like people think it's just Netanyahu, but it's a whole culture, of murder and death.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how a society reforms itself from that. I mean, they used to go take lawn chairs, sit down and watch the bombing of Gaza.
Yes. I think I sent a video of that to you as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, I remember that like years ago, like before the whole October 7th thing broke out.
Yeah. No, it's quite frightening.
Like, could you imagine just doing that? Hey, you know, we're just gonna go to the border over here in Mexico. We're just gonna watch us bomb Mexico. Could you imagine that?
Well,
that's fucked up.
It is, man. It's like, and this clown shoes over here. Hold on a second. Let's see if I can get this. Let me get the sound on this thing. All right, here we go. This fella.
Oh, I can't, dude. He just turned 50.
He doesn't look like, he looks like 70.
Dude.
להמשיך לפעול גם בניגוד לעמדה של ארצות הברית, כי אנחנו מדינה עצמאית. ואנחנו לא יכולים להפסיק להרוס בתים בדרום לבנון, לא יכולים להפסיק לא לתת לאוכלוסייה בדרום לבנון לחזור, זה מסכן את החיילים שלנו, זה מסכן את התושבים שלנו. אסור לנו לתת להם לחזור לגבולות, לחזור למה שהיה לפני 7/10, ואנחנו חייבים להמשיך לשלוט בשטח, גם בניגוד לדעתו של הנשיא טראמפ.
They're just blowing up villages and stuff. It's like they're not even attacking zones. Like, like
They call that shit mowing the lawn.
yeah. So they're doing the same thing in Lebanon as they're doing in. If they'll do it, hey, you know what? They did it in the South Bronx in the 60s. They wanted they wanted to put I-95 through a Puerto Rican neighborhood, and that's exactly what they did.
Well, they did it in whatchamacallit, Philly.
Mm-hmm.
They dropped that bomb on Philly. They did it.
Yeah, this is all United States colonialism. They're not doing anything brand new. This is stuff that's been going on for a long time.
Oh yeah, like a lot of people might think, like right now with Cuba, oh, it's because Cuba's communist and all this shit.
It's been communist.
I just finished reading a book called Black Jacobins by Gerald Horne, which I recommend. It's a great companion to the very famous book by C.R.L. James, Black Jacobins. It deals more with the effect of Haiti on in the world. Something I was shocked to find out, that in the 1820s and 30s, the Confederacy, especially after it took over the Mexican territories in the Mexican-American War, were looking to invade Haiti from Cuba. They wanted to take Hispaniola, which meant the Dominican Republic, Haiti, and Cuba. And Cuba had a lot of wealthy people who supported the Confederacy. Now, the United States, the northern states, as soon as the Civil War broke out, I think it was about 1862, they recognized Haiti as a nation just to fuck over the South, so it wouldn't be able to make it into Haiti. So when it's because it's called colonialism and exploitation.
Right.
And then what do? Later on, late 1800s, we take over Cuba. We turn it pretty much into a prostitute and casino hellhole.
Yep.
Then we occupy Haiti in 1915. 1916, we occupy the Dominican Republic. So even though we got rid of slavery, we still end up taking those spots.
Right.
So think of it what you will, but it's all imperialism.
That's all it is. That is, and they got that video from what you just mentioned about mowing the lawn. Got it right here. Right here. Israel destroys entire villages in Lebanon during a 3-week ceasefire. Here we go. Americans, we don't see this on American television, and you only see it on the internet if you got the right algorithm,
Yep. And that's usually following a lot of lefties.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure puts us all on lists. and to anyone who thinks, they already have you on a list.
Oh, I'm on the list for sure. Trust me.
Yeah. Here's a crazy thing.
I got hacked the other day.
Yeah, I got an email from you.
Yeah. I hope you didn't know.
I deleted it.
Thank you.
I was like, what? I didn't click on anything inside the email.
I have enough people that hate me that'll be like, fuck you, Ray. I'm not going to your party.
No, I looked through it and I'm like, Ray wouldn't be sending me anything with flowers on it. I'm like, it's like a sort of weird memorial service or something I didn't know about that he told me, and I was being an idiot and I didn't paying attention.
Right.
But I deleted it.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man. They're on to me.
Oh, they're on to all of us, man. They know. But here's the thing. If anyone wastes, see, this is the thing. If you're wasting your time with the common people who have really no power other than telling other people these guys are a bunch of jokers,
right?
That really means you don't have that much power. Because if you'd be like, whatever, who's that?
All I gotta say is, don't be like Anakin.
Yeah, well, Yeah. Yeah, they won't be with like Neo though.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, no, yeah, they have us all on lists. I'm sure of it. If they screw with our algorithms, the algorithms are all screwy.
I told you about that Canary Mission website, right? We talked about that before. One of my coworkers was on that, and I was like, "Whoa!"
The Ukrainians have one too. They have a kill list.
Wow, yeah,
Yeah. For a time, I think Tucker was on it.
Tucker Carlson. Wow.
A few other people. And now Europe is finding out that a lot of the Ukrainians that came over are like super far right. Like, really?
Right.
What part of the Black Suns and the swastikas and the Celtic crosses did you not fucking get?
Right, exactly. Now I just found the video of that of what you were mentioning about the televised them watching this destruction on giant screens. I mean, look at this. All sorts of things on TRT World, that news.
Yeah.
Reading. Gotta stop that. Gotta work on my cues.
By the way, one thing, and I've known this for a bit, but one thing I wanted to point out, because we were on the whole Dulles thing and Soviet Union, Russians and stuff. The person that pushed to have the Nuremberg trials was Stalin.
Was it really?
It was Stalin who pushed to have the Nuremberg trials because Churchill and FDR just wanted to off them. And Stalin said, no, we got to put these guys in trial before we kill them. So at least the world knows that we have nothing to hide and we have nothing to fear. That was Stalin.
Exactly.
FDR and Churchill wanted to just do it kind of like quietly in the background.
We got a comment. Hey, what's up, Daquan? True power stems from? Survey says.
True power stems from. Well, it depends on the power you want.
Right. Bloodline, I would say. No.
Nah.
You know.
It stems from having something on someone else.
Yeah, that too. The blackmail. Well, that's Epstein was the biggest blackmailer, right?
Blackmail and favors.
Mhm.
That's where power stems from. The original money is favors. Anyway, I owe you this. Yeah, you did this for me.
Fear. You know, fear.
Yeah, like Godfather, the beginning of Godfather at that wedding is a perfect illustration of the original money and new money.
Mhm.
When he says to him, yeah, you come over here at my freaking daughter's wedding, you ask me like I'm some sort of hitman to go knock off these guys who mistreated your daughter?
Right.
Like you're going to pay me like a common thug? You never invited me over to have a cup of coffee or anything. What do you think I am, right? And what does he say? Tell you what, I'll do it, but I'm going to ask a favor of you later on.
Right.
That's how power works.
Yes.
You know, and we're a very transactional culture. So, which makes us a very stupid and very young empire. We deal with the newer money. I'm going to give you all this money. Now I own you. We fuck off. And guys like, all right, you pay me to do this job, but it doesn't mean the next job I'm going to do it.
Exactly. Exactly.
So that's why I don't sweat Hamas, because Israel was acting like new money. Paid them all this money, and then when the money wasn't coming in, they're like, all right, fuck you.
Yeah. This is probably what got Paul Newman canceled back in the 80s, 1983. He said this.
Oh, you got the video.
I got the video.
I
got the Cubans.
You got the Cubans, not the Dominicans.
The Israelis shot down civilian aircraft. In 1978 or 79, the Israelis shot down a Libyan civilian aircraft. President Nixon sent a wire to Gaddafi and to Sadat apologizing for this incident. There was no talk about it going into the United Nations. The International Pilots Associations had their meeting. There was 102 nations that voted to condemn Israel and 4 that voted not to, and the American representative abstained. Why? because we couldn't create an enemy there. But when the Soviets shoot down an airliner, the same situation, we rise in moral outrage against this act. What is the difference?
Well said.
That's one of the other pillars of power. Doing whatever the fuck you want, but dictating to other people's what they should do. So
both answers are good answers.
All right. All right.
We get a prize. What do you get?
You
get this dollar comic Swamp Thing book, Daquan. You know, just that book. There you go. Send us your address. You'll get it mailed to you.
Yeah. It's probably why I like Dune so much.
Yeah.
Dune doesn't pull any punches. It doesn't try to hide that it's all about power.
Did you hear the funny story that happened? Dune was supposed to come out this summer, right?
Oh, they moved it to Christmas.
Right. So, but this is how this happened. So Avengers Doomsday War was supposed to come out this summer, and they pulled back because Dune was coming out this summer, right? So they pulled back to Christmas. I was like, fuck, what the fuck? They're like, oh, because Dune. And then Dune pulls out and goes towards Christmas now. So apparently.
Are they trying to compete directly?
Yes, it seems like that was intentional. So
interesting.
They bowed down to the Warner Brothers and said, no, we're not going to compete with, we'll move our movie to Christmas. And then now they're moving their movie to Christmas. So now we got two flops. I mean, well, Spider-Man might be okay, but
Spider-Man will do all right.
Spider-Man versus Supergirl. That's not really a steel cage match, right? Dune and freaking Doomsday War, bringing back all these Avengers characters, I think would be a box office challenge.
It's gonna be, yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, and it's like, honestly, I don't know what Disney's thinking, because as intellectual and as good as Dune is, it's not a Marvel movie, and I think it would probably get overshadowed by it. So it just shows you these executives really don't know what the hell they're doing. They're overpaid. They don't know what the hell they're doing.
It's like what I was telling you last week about if you've worked at big corporations,
yeah,
and you've had to deal with clients, and then you have to talk to the buyers or the higher ups.
Yeah.
They start telling you what you have to do, and you're like, yeah, but that's not what my clients keep telling me. Exactly. And they're almost like, fuck the clients. You tell them this. It's like,
right.
Yeah, but they want, whatever, short sleeve shirts. Well, they give them fucking long sleeve shirts.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of irrationality because they're there and they have to justify their position of power.
Right.
Which is retarded. Oh, sorry, I was ableist.
No. It's I'll tell you a funny example from my job. That's all right. This, like, my boss tells me, she's like, well, I was like, hey, why is it that I'm getting like a partial effective in my review? I'm always effective. And she says, well, you haven't been following the district's art curriculum. I was like, but you hired me and you knew that I wasn't going to follow the curriculum when you hired me, and I told you I wasn't. And you had no problem with that. All of a sudden, 3 years in, I become the union rep. Now I have to do that,
That sucks.
And they're taking away my Mac lab. It's like, oh, so, it's like I was going to start a new wrestling team in the fall. I haven't had a wrestling team since Daquan. He was one of my wrestlers back in 2009. As I started a new wrestling club, they canceled the wrestling club. Now they canceled my lab, but we're going to just make you a regular art teacher now. I'm like, I said, I haven't taught regular art since 2016. So this is the stupidity, the politics of things. When people don't like you, what am I doing that's so wrong? It's not a paid gig, right? I'm a union rep.
You're actually standing up for the other workers, and that's your job.
Right, and that's my job. I was nominated to stand up for the other workers, and now I'm a problem.
Yeah, now you're gonna get punished for it.
No, you get punished, right? And there's like no extra compensation for it, you know? And then we're gonna hit you in the pocket. So not only are you not getting paid for this gig, but if you get 2 of those ratings back to back in the year, so like next year in 2027, if I get the same rating, I don't get my pay hike. So it just shows you the dirty pool that we play, you know, just like,
yeah.
I'm just trying to play the end game of, you know, retiring in 2030. That's my goal.
That's your goal.
That's all I care about. And if I can help some people along the way, so be it. But, you know.
Well, I was going to tell you that right now there's a lot of people who are upset about He-Man not doing well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I haven't seen it. Have you?
No, I haven't. But
It's
here's
pretty
the
good.
thing. We are so accustomed to absorbing the way that business execs think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it didn't do well. It sucked.
Mm-hmm.
Let me rewind. Casablanca flopped.
Yeah, and it was a great film. So did Citizen Kane.
Blade Runner flopped.
Mm-hmm.
There are dozens of cult films that they might not have made their money at the box office, but they made their money later.
Right.
An enjoyable film is an enjoyable film.
Right.
There could be many reasons why people didn't go see it, aside from Jared Leto, who just kills every movie.
I don't know why people say that. I saw the Tron Ares and I thought it was great. I like Jared Leto as
I think wherever it's a running gag. Everyone's just says, you know, wherever he's in it, he just kills it, right?
But I see people like actively trolling the guy, like, oh, he's destroying the movie. He's destroying it. It's like he just
they take it too seriously.
It's like, I mean, that movie, what was it, where he played the designer, the family designer with Lady Gaga? What a fucking great film. He's a great character actor. I put him up there with Johnny Depp. You know? What was his name?
A little more cultish, yes, but definitely Johnny Depp.
He does own a cult. Yes, he is a cult. Yep. But again, that's synonymous with rock bands, right? He's a rock star first.
Here's the thing. Is he the guest speaker at Peter Thiel's event? And he gets there with 30 Seconds to Mars, and he's singing, and you know that's how you start a cult. You got to get some talent, guys.
And then where do these cults come from? The CIA. I mean, you know, we should do a Jim Jones special.
Oh yes, absolutely.
You know,
and it's not Kool-Aid; it's Flavor Aid. Remember that.
Right, it's Flavor Aid. It's
Flavor Aid.
CIA aid.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But you know, I mean, there's a lot of movies that I didn't see in the movie theater,
Mm-hmm.
and then I turn around and watch them. I was like, hey, these are actually kind of fun. These are kind of cool.
Yes, exactly.
Like just because a movie doesn't do well at the box office, it doesn't mean that. Oh, it's because it went rogue. No, it's just because maybe people didn't have the money to spend.
I as much as I hated Sickle and Ebert as a kid, I think that they actually taught people how to appreciate films because it wasn't about box office. It was about the story. It was about the acting. It was about, and they kind of like, even though I didn't agree with their opinion most of the time, if they liked the movie, or if they hated a movie, I would just go, I was like, you know what? They hated the movie. I'm going to watch it. That's how, that was like how I watched. I tuned in every week to watch them.
Yeah.
But if they hated a movie, like if they really hated a movie, I was like, you know what? That movie's probably really good. Because they're like pretentious. They're like kind of pretentious. Like they love slow paced. Not that there were bad movies, but they love those slow paced artsy films, you know, that you were like watching the paint on the wall dry.
Oh yeah. But you know, no one else came along and replaced them.
Right.
What we ended up getting was a lot of bitter film critics, and they almost like work as the Borg, right? So like, look at the Michael Jackson movie.
Right.
You all of a sudden, all these negative reviews, and they were all literally saying the same thing.
Right.
It looked like they copy and pasted it So it's like movie reviews. I don't know when it happened. It might have been the early 2000s. Maybe it was with Rotten Tomatoes. Just became no one pays attention to them anymore, right?
No.
But I just hate that we're just so caught up on, oh well, Batman made $5 billion, and like that makes it a good movie. No, it might suck actually. You might see the strings on Batman.
Here's something controversial. I hate every single Batman movie that's ever been made.
Really?
Batman versus Superman, not too bad.
Wow.
But I hated Michael Keaton. When I worked at a comic book store and sold tickets to that movie, and we sold out the theater. We actually rented our own private theater in the Whitestone Cinema in the Bronx. So we had the comic book store had their own screening. We had our own screening. All our customers bought it. We watched it, and I remember getting out of the theater saying, "What the fuck was that?"
Yeah, I have to say that if it was just a Bruce Wayne movie, he would have been. I was okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, I love Michael Keaton. I think he's a fabulous actor.
But as Batman,
nah, he didn't do it for me. And then Batman Returns was worse.
Yeah,
George
I mean,
Clooney,
what I loved
great
about
actor,
those two movies, though, what I loved about those two movies was the set design.
Oh yeah, that was pretty. Yeah, there's some merit to it. Yeah, I did like the look. I did like the look of it, and that birthed the Batman anime series, which I did love.
I didn't care for Val Kilmer. I didn't care for George Clooney.
Oh, the George Clooney.
I actually enjoyed Bale because he had this sort of preppy asshole.
The first
one thing.
The first one, yes. The first Bale one was good, but I just didn't like when they finally talked about the Lazarus pit. They made it like it was a joke, or that it wasn't real, like some kind of like mythos or something that they actually.
Yeah, I think that was more Nolan trying to make things more
real. And the thing with Robin as a cop, I thought was stupid.
Yeah. Oh, you mean the one with Bane?
Yeah, the one with Bane.
The second one with Ledger.
I was
just a Joker movie, actually. That was the original Joker movie.
Yeah, but if you look at each shot, somebody on Facebook pointed out that every single shot, and that was literally taken from The Crow. Every single, every shot of him was basically a rip off the Crow film.
I mean, he did a very good job, but
he did a good job. Oh no, sure, yeah, but not taking that away. But
there's
cinematography wise, it was The Crow.
That was clear.
And I the reason why, the only two things I would say about Jack Nicholson and Jared Leto is that they actually stuck to the mythos of the comics with the factory where he got his skin bleached. Every other incarnation of the Joker is like, like this guy from the TV show Makeup, like he's putting on makeup on his face.
Oh yeah. Well, what's his name? Ledger. They never really quite clearly say what happened. They left it ambiguous.
Right, but clearly he has makeup on his face.
Yeah, he clearly has makeup on his face.
And then the whole thing with the scars on the mouth, that was right out of this Japanese movie.
Yeah, that's called I think that's called that's a Scott. It's it's a gangster thing that they do to people. They cut your like that. It was I think it was called Ichi the Killer was the name of the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's actually something that's actually done, I think, in Scotland.
Yeah.
Forget what it's called offhand. But you know what? I mean, I just saw that there's a movie called The Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah. Yeah.
From 1978.
Oh, is it really? So that's
yes.
Wow.
And it's set in World War II.
Look at that.
Dude literally just didn't take the premise.
Right.
He took Ichi the Killer. Okay, yeah. So
it's an anime. It was a manga.
Yeah. Actually, there's a lot of directors who've been ripping off. There's that anime called Perfect Blue.
Oh, I love Perfect Blue. Yeah.
They ripped that off, I think, for Black Swan, the one with Natalie Portman. Someone was showing shot for shot how they ripped it off.
Yeah, you're right. Hold on a second. I gotta charge my computer. Carry on. I'm removing myself.
All right. So yeah, kids, fun with film. A lot of film. Yes, so he did that. There's also the whole speech that Samuel Jackson did. Ultimately, what that was, it was basically the whole speech where he says, about God and everything. That was from a Japanese film called The Bodyguard, I believe, and it's just ripped off the entire speech word for word. So there's a lot of things that Hollywood has been doing that if other countries did it, they would be called copyright thieves, and they completely mistreat them and say all sorts of garbage about them. Unfortunately, once you start to see those movies, you start to realize how much of a sham Hollywood is in that sense. Now, mind you, they put it together very well, so it's not necessarily a bad thing. We'll see if Ray gets his charger on time, or if we end up clocking out. But we're past the 2-hour mark. We're in 2 hours and 20.
I'm so
minutes.
retarded. I ran around the house and then realized I actually had it behind the computer the whole time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just telling the audience that that speech in Pulp Fiction,
yes,
is ripped off word for word from a movie called The Bodyguard.
Oh yes.
A Japanese film. Yeah.
Yes.
So Hollywood does that a lot.
Oh yeah,
they'll rip stuff off.
Yeah.
And then everyone thinks how original they are.
Yes.
And
the same thing with Reservoir Dogs that he gets praised for. That was I think a Korean or Chinese movie.
Yeah.
It's a gangster movie.
And now he's running his mouth off about people. I heard him talking some shit about Stanley Kubrick.
He's such a hack, that dude.
He's
I met him and I called him a hack to his face.
He looks like a gargoyle.
And then I trolled him while we were watching Blow, the entire movie. I was drunk.
Yeah.
It's funny. The irony is this. It shows how complex I can be. I actually loved his movies, but I was so drunk, I did nothing but berate the guy the entire time with his little pineapple Hawaiian shirt.
He was wearing what?
He's wearing a Hawaiian shirt with a pineapple.
Oh, you know you're an asshole if you're wearing a Hawaiian shirt. I'm sorry.
With a giant pineapple on the back of it. And he had a beautiful model girlfriend with him.
Of course. I bet you she had the most stellar feet.
Oh my God, she was beautiful.
Because he's got a foot fetish.
Oh yeah. I didn't see her feet. We were sitting down, but I was literally 2 rows behind him and yelling. And I was behind him in the popcorn line. You know.
I think he looks like a gargoyle.
He looks like fucking Bob Hope's bastard child.
He's Frankenstein Bob Hope.
It's like Bob Hope and the moon from the McDonald's commercials in the 80s had a child.
Oh, yeah, he was talking some shit about Stanley Kubrick. He said that Stanley Kubrick about Clockwork Orange, that he didn't do it to show off how bad violence was. He was getting off on it, and I bet you his dick was hard. That's what he was saying. And I'm like, okay, first of all, you can say all that shit without, that's a little strange.
Yeah. What about Once Upon a Time in America? That was that was a piece of crap. The way he insulted Bruce Lee's memory.
Oh, you mean yeah.
Somewhere in Hollywood or whatever. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I didn't watch that. I refused. Because he made him look so arrogant. And he was like, oh, back in the day, he hurt the American stuntman. I'm like, dude was American. He was born in San Francisco. And his grandfather was American. So, Tarantino's just a racist. And people don't want to say it, but I'll say it. He's a racist. Bruce Lee was an icon, not just because he was good at martial arts or he was an action hero. It's also what he represented. He represented someone who was non-white,
right,
asserting himself. And that's why it was so popular with Latinos, so popular with Black people, and other people around the world. And if he couldn't understand that, is because he's just too much of a Krakatoa.
Yeah, we were talking about Elon Musk before. I actually, it took me a while, but I actually found that video. We can take a look at that.
All
and
right.
See what this guy was Bill Clinton's advisor at one point, or not his advisor. What was he? The secretary, or I forget what he was, but he was in the Clinton campaign for a long time. I'm no fan of Clinton, but this guy's on point.
Musk's SpaceX IPO, that initial public offering, is nothing but a Ponzi scheme. I mean, in order to boost the hype even further, what do? You Musk, you put a valuation on XAI, your artificial intelligence company that doesn't have any valuation, and you also put a valuation on your own space program, SpaceX, and you create a merger between the two. And so you create you're putting a valuation on both sides. You create a merger and you announce that the total is much greater than the sum of the parts. You want into my IPO? Well, you're going to have to relax some of your rules. And that means that, suddenly SpaceX is now listed on at several of these giant index funds, which means that you as a passive investor, okay, your own 401k, your own or college endowments or pension funds, they are in SpaceX. They're boosting this whole thing. This is like a rocket that actually doesn't have any fuel. It's pretend.
I mean, it is a rocket.
It's a rocket for Elon Musk and other insiders who, by the way, the thing that makes this a Ponzi scheme is they can get out early before the whole rocket crashes. They can get out. They can cash in.
Yeah.
Which is unusual. Most IPOs are structured in a way that you can't actually get out right away. You can get out in 6 months or a year or 5 years. This you can get out very, very quickly. Elon.
Now, part of the reason I laugh is because when he said it's an IPO, and then it almost sounded like he says they put the IPO in the rocket. Shoot it off. One of my biggest beefs, especially after I've done my fair share of economics comics, and at some point I'll bring them up. And one day I'll bug. I already talked to Steve Kane. I'll get him over here to talk about some economic stuff. But one of my biggest beefs is when we say we're capitalists, and I don't say I'm a capitalist, but many of us who say they're capitalists, I'm using the general we. No one can describe what the fuck capitalism is.
Right.
Like all you get is, well, you get paid well for working hard. That's not capitalism.
No.
I
think he was the Secretary of Labor, so I mean, he would know.
No, and I love that he's explaining it. But I think the rest of us adhere and die for a system kind of in the way like a medieval peasant died for Christianity, but wasn't able to read the Bible.
Right.
So, I just know the picture of Jesus of the church. I'm dying for that guy. Right. So we kind of treat capitalism in the same way. It's like this elite group of people who know what it really is. The rest of us just parrot. Yeah, it's capitalism. Then we think it's selling and buying stuff, which it's not. We think it's all sorts of crazy mystical things. So I enjoy when Robert Reich comes out and he actually says stuff and tries to educate people on just the basics of how the economy and things work, because we need that. We need to stop being the suckers.
Exactly. Is it Father's Day in France today?
Yeah, it is, and leaving.
You're leaving?
We still managed to get 2.5 hours in, though.
That's good.
Still managed to get 2.5 hours.
I usually do a barbecue, and this is the first year that I'm not, because it always falls on my son's birthday. But this year, my son's birthday was Wednesday, so he turned 18. That means your kid's going to turn 18 soon, right?
Yeah, next month.
There you go, because I know they were very close in age.
The same year.
Yeah.
Same year.
Yes, I mean it's crazy. Our kids, I don't know. Did our kids ever meet? Maybe if they did, they were very little. I don't know. Did you ever?
No.
to the
By the
convention?
time he came along, Susie stopped coming with me to cons
Oh,
because it was just too chaotic, you know.
I used to bring him to the shows even when he was like in his stroller when he was like a month or two old. I brought him to Comic-Con.
Yeah, no,
His diaper behind the table.
I didn't.
It
I
was-
wish I did, but you know, the cost of taking everybody there is just like
It's astronomical.
so that's why I ended up manning the tables on my own for a while.
Yeah.
At Mocha and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know.
What's
you
crazy?
never know.
My older daughter, I don't remember ever bringing her to a show. I may have brought it to a show, maybe one or two, but not many because she had autism, so she couldn't really
Handle the big crowds.
She'd get bored very easily.
Yeah,
she could
no.
really throw her an iPad, but they're little. They want to
I took my kids to 2 shows here.
Yeah.
One was Angoulême.
Oh,
so we
nice.
spent the day there, and they got stuff. They were happy.
Mhm.
And the other was a show just a couple towns over, which was actually Jules Verne used to live there. A town called Amiens, which actually Macron's from there too.
Really?
And it was a tiny show. It wasn't very big. It was about the size of Mocha.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, so I've taken them to a couple, but
It's
yeah,
like-
I just didn't really push it.
You were saying earlier that how a lot of our politics are similar, like in different parts of the world, and it just dawned on me that whole comment about Michelle Obama being a man is exactly what Macron is going through with his wife, right?
Yeah.
The exact same story, you know.
Yeah.
But I think people fell into the Macron one after he got clocked by his wife on camera.
Well,
and he had a black eye after.
well, there are things, and I don't like listening to Candace Owens.
But there are some
sometimes I
interesting.
listen just out of curiosity. Actually, my daughter's teacher said she possibly is. There's things where there are birth certificates and pictures and stuff, but in the end,
Does it matter?
if she is, who gives a fuck?
Right.
One.
Who gives a fuck?
2, what's more important?
Get a right hook.
Right, yeah, just make sure you get the right hook. But 2, the more important part was the age difference. He was a school teacher.
Right.
That is, to me, like,
Right.
no. Like, I think he was 15. She was like 40 something.
Right.
Like, no, come on, man. To the point that people in the town would yell at her.
Really?
Yeah, they were like, "What the hell are you doing with the kid?" Yeah, so
they've been together that long?
Yeah, I get it. The whole other man thing, I think, is unnecessary.
So,
but it is similar.
been with her since he was 15 years old.
Yeah, she was a school teacher. She has kids his age.
What the fuck?
Exactly. The other part is kind of like,
to
all
me,
right, you're adding more sauce to the story that doesn't need it.
Yeah, that's more interesting, I think, than the other thing.
Yeah. She was a school teacher. First they try to pawn it off that he was 17 when he first started being with her, but then they discovered that it was actually 15.
Wow.
Yeah, that's more
So-
salacious.
He's more like I feel bad for him. He's probably like a Lionel Richie. He's probably getting clogged regularly.
She's putting him over her knee and smacking him, right?
He's probably into that.
At this point, I don't know. He's such a sad man. I don't know. But at the same time, it's like attack the ideas, don't attack the person. I know I do it with Trump all the time, but I can't help it. He's such a pig man. And he's so overtly racist.
Yeah, he's so gross.
He's so gross.
Yeah.
But, with Macron, I can actually quite literally say a lot of his ideas, he just flops back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
You can just attack the ideas, not the person. I think that's
Right.
the better approach. And you know what? The difference between Michelle and Brigitte is that Brigitte is suing Candace, and Michelle pretty much said a little bit and moved on.
Mm-hmm. I heard that she might be suing the guy for $2 million, but we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see.
Well, I think we should wrap this up because it is. I think my family is ready to go.
Okay, no problem. All right, man.
And happy Father's Day, man.
Yeah, happy Father's Day and
Episode
happy
38.
episode.
Yeah, man, it's in the can. Growing. Before you know, it'll be episode 100.
Yeah.
You know,
got to grow this audience.
I know. Well, we had 4 people watching live. You know.
Oh wow.
I mean, I haven't seen the actual feed, but I kept seeing the numbers fluctuate up and down. So
okay. 4 unfortunate souls.
Yeah, 4 unfortunate souls. I'm sure one of them's Tom. Like, all right.
All right.
Thanks for watching, Daquan. Thanks
you.
for watching and their comments. And we're signing off.
Signing off.
The apocalypse is coming. Are you scared? Are you prepared? The masses are running, frantically running from their fears, running with their tears, running from their lives, running from that dark shadowed creature that hides deep inside.